Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. I already know what it is. We back with another one of them things. Shout out to all y'all for tuning in, man. We got ourselves one hell of a situation here. You got the Boston Celtics. It's going down. It's serious ramifications. Jaylen Brown is cooking. We're going to get into the stat lines and everything. We're going to break everything down for the people. Tired had to check out. So we do have breaking news on. We're gonna discuss Tyrese and what does that mean for the Indiana Pacers. Is not going to be good at all, but only time will tell. He was already dealing with he was already messed up and banged up, but it is what it is. Jaylen Brown tonight, man, he put up 37 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Jason Tatum put up 20, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Horford, 6 and 10 rebounds. The man had more rebounds than points. You know, homage must be paid. Shout out to old man Al. Derek White, 21. You know, so the C is holding it down. We still got action, and the Celtics is cooking. You know, the Celtics, to be honest with you, they are the favorite, you know, to win it all. It's going to be interesting to see if they actually do it, because they've been knocking on the door for some time. They made some moves for they let go of Smart. Nobody's seen that coming out. That just happened out of left field. So hopefully that was done to get the team to a title. But I mean, only time will tell. Hopefully they could get there, you know, point blank. But nonetheless, it's Flight Sports. Salute to all y'all that's tuning in. We live right now. It's the Boston Celtics versus the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers looking like they're about to fall. They will be going down 2-0. But I mean, it's still a lot of time left now. They had it home. They suffered this, you know, back, you know, going up against the Knicks, but this is a different beast going up against the Boston Celtics, man. This team ain't nothing to fool around with. It's going to be interesting to see if they could somehow see, you know, and win this game, and win a game. But I'm looking at what's going on. It's crazy. It's 101-115. Jaylen Brown got 37 points. The 37 ball we have right now. Post-game action, 101-115. Boston, they going up. Let me know what y'all think. Do the Boston Celtics have a shot to win the NBA title? You know, because everybody, all the reports are saying that the team that comes out of the West is going to win the NBA title. But I don't know how they didn't usurp the Boston Celtics. I think that's very egregious. But I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. We got Derek White still out there cooking. Jason Tatum. Like I said, Tyrese Halliburton, like I said, he had a lot of back spasms, man. You seen him running around with that brace on. Jason Tatum, he just got an and one up here in Boston Garden and letting up on the Indiana Pacers. And this is what you have to do if you want to be looked at as one of the elite title contenders and not a pretender. Because we do have numerous times where we do see pretenders. Let's not act like we don't see that. What's going on, Uncle Vern?
Hey, what's going on, Flight?
How's your game tonight?
Boston got this under control. Indiana ain't coming up that fast, Flight.
Yeah, no, no, the game is over. But did you watch it?
No, I sure did. I'm just now catching you.
Nah. How good is Jaylen Brown?
Oh, he good, man. He good all the way. Him and that other dude
Tatum.
today. Yeah. Both of them, they nice. I like them together. You know, because they ain't got that kind of problem like DeRozan and Zach Levine got. You know what I'm saying? Like the problem with the ball. They ain't got no problems like that. Did they win tonight?
No, the Boston Celtics winning. Yeah, they're gonna win. Right
Oh,
now
okay.
it's
All right.
104, 118, 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
So
And Tyrese Halliburton, he checked out the game.
okay, bet. I'm just not catching up with the series. I had watched all of the what's the name series against Minnesota. I like what Minnesota doing out there. I love what Minnesota doing out there, man. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, he flight
This is
he's
Jaylen
changing in
Brown.
the NBA, boy.
Oh my
Young boy,
goodness,
he is.
Jaylen Brown just hit it through. Jaylen Brown got 40 points.
Okay, there you go. That's what it is. That's how it is.
Yeah,
That's what it's
Jaylen
supposed to
Brown got 40 points. He shot 14 of 27 from the field, 4 of 10 from 3-point range. So he's really been cooking tonight.
be.
Shout out to you, Unc, man. Does Indiana have a chance in this series with the Celtics going up 2-0? Can they get a game in Indiana? Or I see a sweep coming. Do they need to bring the brooms out?
Who you talking to, me?
Yeah, I see a sweep coming. I think Boston might sweep them.
Yeah, I mean, what's the score of the series now? This it's gonna be 1-0?
It's gonna be 2-0.
Okay, 2-0. Yeah, I ain't surprised if Boston sweep. I know Indiana ain't ready yet. They look good, especially, man, I'm telling you. I don't know what they did out there. They did some good things though. But like I said, Minnesota too. But Indiana. No, Indiana ain't got a chance against Boston. Flight. You know that yourself. And I'm
Yeah,
sorry to hear about your Knicks though.
yeah. I wish the Knicks was in this position right now. You know,
Uh,
I think the Knicks defensively, I think they would have been able to put up a better fight. You know, but at the end of the day, the Knicks they were hurt. So it was a battle of attrition. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, the Knicks they're gonna be back.
yeah.
Give the Knicks some time. Don't rush nothing. The New York Knicks, they're a hell of a team, man.
Uh, yeah. So Bronson is who he say he is, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Shout out, Brunson is the truth, man. Do you think they need to get another star with him?
Say it again. Oh yeah. If they could, man, I'm telling you, if they could, they would. Yeah. Somebody
Yeah.
go along with it.
I
Uh,
I want
hey,
to ask you.
what's up with Randall? Randall gone?
Well, not yet. But I want to
He's
ask you.
still on the team.
Yeah, he's on next. I want to
Uh,
ask you a question about the Boston Celtics. Can they win the championship without Porzingis? Because
um,
he's hurt.
I ain't surprised neither, Flight. I'm telling you, and I don't think you surprised neither. Hey. They still can win. They still can win. I ain't been seeing how they been playing with him. I ain't been watching too many Boston games. I've been watching them. I know they be coming on Prime, and I got Prime, but I ain't been watching them though. I ain't been keeping up with them. But so with Kazinga's gone, I don't know. It probably gonna be more like they was last year. Struggling to get there, but they still got that game time experience with Brown and another guy, the other guy, and the other guy is good. You understand me? So I don't. They go right back to that again. Like they can do without him. Yeah, they can do without him. You see what they're doing today, so they can carry it, and take it on, and get back to the championship again. And then when it comes down to it, either who them Minnesota. I think if they look good against Minnesota, they look real nice against Minnesota. I think they can hold their own.
I don't know. Don't sleep on Dallas.
Dallas,
Dallas already up 1-0.
yeah. I don't see no problem with Minnesota getting taking care of Dallas Flight. Minnesota's going to get too much of that offensive. I don't know. We'll see, Flight. But Minnesota going to get hot. Honestly, though, Flight. They're going to get hot because they ain't got no defensive.
Celtics got bench players coming in hitting threes, man. I don't see how Indiana could find some kind of way to break what's going on with Boston. I think this is a bad matchup. Styles make fights. I think that the Knicks would have been a better matchup. I think the Celtics, they can neutralize Indiana a lot easier. And that's what I'm seeing so far. What?
What's the Knicks records against the Celtics during the season? What was their record?
I don't know. I'll look it up shortly, but I know that they've beat the Celtics before, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Do they play? They play every team.
What's up,
the Knicks play everybody tough, so they're a grind out team. Defense first, but I mean, give credit to Indiana. They're in trouble, because they're already going down 2-0. The Celtics are rolling in hot. Jaylen Brown done cooked them. Tatum is cooking, and then like I said, I don't see it. They're going back home, but Halliburton, even if he does play, he's not 100% healthy. Brown tonight finished with 40 points. It was a 40 ball. Shout out to Pascal Siakam. Siakam did his thing. It's crazy.
Hey, was you surprised about that Denver series with against Miami? Against Minnesota.
I actually was. I was surprised. I thought that I thought it was going to be the other way around, but I mean, give credit to them. Let's see if they can continue to overcome all these obstacles, because they're in a big obstacle right now.
Yeah, but that'll be that. I'm telling you though, Flat. I don't know how it turned out, how it gonna turn out, but that's gonna be a nice series.
Yeah. I want to bring some attention to you. Jaylen Brown is some breaking news that Jaylen Brown, if you don't know, he was a snub for all NBA teams, and this is pretty much his answer. I think I don't know how he got lost out in the shuffle. They had the best record in the league. I think that was pretty ridiculous. If you ask me, it makes no sense why he should have never been an all NBA player. Man, I thought it was disgusting. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it was messed up because Jaylen Brown is good like that, man. But I don't. Hey, Flight. That's so that's that NBA business. So I don't see how how they go about their decision making and all that. I really don't understand that.
Right.
But
I got Marvin in the building. What's good, Marvin?
What's going on, Marv?
What's going on? What's up, Bob?
What's your thoughts on these Celtics?
Same thing, brother. I told you, Indiana had their chance game one and they blew it. You can't for game road, man. You had to lead with 5 seconds to go and you lost the game. Now you lose by 20. They're in trouble now. But then they can go home and win both games. They have to now. So, I mean, pick your poison. Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, bubble. Kind of like the Mavericks. Yeah. Pick your poison. Luka or Kyrie. It's not over. I think I heard somebody say something about, did Halliburton getting hurt tonight?
Yeah, Halliburton got hurt. His leg. You already know he was dealing with back spasms and all that crazy shit. So he's out.
He left the game and didn't come back?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, that ain't good for Indiana. Damn.
Yeah, I don't see how they can overcome this.
That's kind of like, even if the Knicks would have won Game 7, if they didn't have Brunson in the next series, they was gonna was going to be, hamper them real bad. I mean, Indiana can't do much without Adam. I mean, we don't know. Somebody might step up. I don't know, man.
Did you see 40 from Jaylen Brown tonight? Did you see that coming?
I mean, he's capable of hitting 40 any night. I mean, you're a quiet assassin. You don't talk much. You don't do no bragging. Don't be talking noise on the floor. You just get out and play ball. He's been doing it for a long time.
Go ahead.
He's just, one of those guys, man. You got to stay on him. And then one thing about Jaylen Brown, a lot of people don't talk about his stamina. That dude will never get tired, man. Look at the numbers, the minutes he played. Nobody even ever bring it up. How many times have any one of your streams you came on and said Jaylen Brown was tired at the end of the game? Never. Dude ain't never tired, man. He act like he's African or something. He can run all damn day. I mean, they're a pretty good compliment with each other, him and JT. If Porzingis come back, they're dangerous, for real. I didn't think was going to beat them, but I thought they would. I thought they would at least try to. Well, they tried to get a split in Boston. They lost their first game, so that was a heartbreaking loss for them the other day. Flight when they lost. You remember when we was on the stream and Deck say, "Oh my God, he didn't hit a 3 with 5 seconds." And you say, "What? What?" And that boy, Jaylen Brown, hit that 3 too. So,
dude, what do you think about him being snubbed from the All NBA team?
Oh man, who you gonna take out? Who you think is better than Booker? I mean, who? You got to look at it that way. You got to look at who he's going to replace. And if you replace anybody, then it's going to go back to the other side. Why you take him out and put Brown in? Because they're going to feel like the other guy was supposed to be there. I mean, you got so many good players in the NBA, man.
Best record in the league.
Yeah.
Best record. Barry the 5th seed.
Let me look at that NBA team and see exactly who I could probably swap. I mean, I don't really pay much attention to it. They get bonuses for that, though. That is big for those guys. Now, see, and a lot of times you got to remember, NBA first, second, and third team has a lot to do with your contracts. If you make the first team NBA, you're eligible for a certain amount of money and this and that. And I don't know where Brown already got paid, haven't he? I think he has. He already got a max deal?
I think so.
Yeah, so in his eyes, it ain't no big thing there. And he made the NBA first team before, or second, or third. He got the max deal. Then having that, under his belt ain't gonna bother him. I mean, it shouldn't bother him much. I'm pretty sure he'd rather have a championship anyway. And that's what they hunting for. And then who votes for that? The players, fans, or coaches?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah, see, that's a big question, Because if you think about it, if they let the fans vote for that, come on. You know what kind of players will be in there? Everybody's teams. If they let the coaches vote, I guess it could be okay. But I think if you let the players vote for it, you get the right players in there. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who made the voting for it, like I say. But who did the voting for it. But, I mean, I'm finna bring up the first team NBA. Uncle Vern, what's up, baby? Is he
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Mark? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, brother. What's happening, man?
Slow motion. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
I you need to move on. You ain't got your little whoop sitting next to you. Do your little drink to keep you going.
Oh well. Oh yeah. Well, I got both of them. I got my woman next to me, and I got my drink in the kitchen. I just ain't went and got it yet.
Boy. But you're going to have to pull that drink a little closer to you. You got to get that drink just a little bit closer where you ain't got to keep getting up and going and get it. You got to hold on to that tight. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. Look up this NBA team, man. Y'all go ahead and chat up, man. I'm gonna go on mute and look for this all NBA team right quick.
All right, Marv.
I ain't
Yeah,
leaving. I'm
man.
just going on mute. So hang on.
Okay.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. I don't know what's gonna happen when this series shifts to Indiana, but it seems like all of the momentum is in the favor of the Boston Celtics right now. Nobody can guard nobody over there in Indiana. They got matchup problems all over the place. Jaylen Brown is just causing havoc. And it won't be a matter of time before Jason Tatum put up another 40 piece too. He got the joy. This Flight Sports with the like button. You already know what it is. It's Jaylen Brown with the Postgame Live. We got the Celtics, the Pacers. Listen, this is the Eastern Conference Finals. We got two teams fighting for the right to go to the NBA Finals. It don't get no more realer than this. Uncle Vern, what's the deal?
Man, like I said before, man, I'm looking to see what Minnesota gonna do. Flight, all my focus is on them. I love to see them play against Boston, man. I know I ain't got nothing against Dallas. I ain't got nothing against Luka. I ain't got nothing against Kyrie Irving. I just don't. I don't see them coming out of the West like that, Flight. So my focus.
Yeah, I got the all NBA teams up now, Flight, and I got a question. I want you guys to check this out. Now, the first team consists of Giannis, Luka, Shea Gildress, Joker, and Tatum. Can he take one of those guys down? Jaylen Brown?
Yeah, Gilchrist. He can take Gilchrist for sure. And then who else?
You say Gil? You think he? You think
He can.
Gilchrist
Come on,
should?
man. Gilchrist ain't got no Tatum Brown, bro. You know better than that, don't you?
That Flight. I don't know about that.
Is this man Gilchrist out there in Oklahoma City?
Not Gil. Say the first one time for me, Marvin. Gilchrist was an MVP candidate.
Yeah, he said. Uncle Vern say Jaylen Brown should be in the place to him. You think so?
No.
On the All NBA team.
They don't even play the same position. Gilchrist play a guard.
No, but it doesn't matter. They went positionless this year. They didn't go by position. They just went back players.
Jaylen Brown, come on, you know better than that. I don't know if you know better than that, Marvin.
I mean, I know. Well, hold on.
I go with
know what
Brown.
we did this year.
And another thing, look here. Okay, what if it was what's his name? What if the other guy that was playing Jaylen? What if it was the other guy? Yeah, what if it was him? What was it? What you think he better than Gilchrist? The one that Brown played with. The other
Tatum?
forward that Brown. Yeah, Tatum. Yeah, you think
he's on the first team? He's on the first team with Shea.
You think Gilchrist? I'm sorry, I'm hollering. You think Gilchrist better than him?
I don't.
In your opinion, I'm just asking your opinion, your humble opinion.
Right. The way I say about a player being better than another is if I would want him besides the other on my team. And I would say that's a toss up there, bro. I don't know.
Okay, but you just come out and just say that I'm telling you right now, he can take Gilchrist's spot in any time, any day. And you argue against it. I mean, so evidently you got a firm conviction on that. But I'm saying Brown is better than Tatum.
I was referring to Jason Tatum, not Jaylen Brown.
Okay, I know. Right. I know of whom you. I'm telling you my outcome of how I see it. I'm understanding with the conversation.
Okay, all right. Now that was
about because I can't even really make no firm decisions between Brown and Tatum. And then you just jump up real fast and just say Gilchrist. I mean, god dang. The
He's
same
on
one out there in Oklahoma City.
I didn't make the team, Uncle Vern. He's on the first team. I had to call his name.
I know you said when you asked me, for your question was, do I think Brown is better than him? I said, heck yeah. And twice
I
was
don't
over.
think. No, first of all, let me tell you why.
Okay.
First of
Listen.
all, Gil, he averaged more points than Jaylen Brown. He's the face of the NBA coming up, and he needs this NBA first team to get this max deal. Those three things right there, those three
I
things
agree.
there are
I
not
agree
going
with.
to get him.
I agree with the last part.
All right. The second team. Tell me who Jaylen Brown can replace on this. The second team was Jalen Brunson, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, and Kawhi Leonard.
Man, come on with that Kawhi. Do you know? I think Kawhi playing himself out. I think he shouldn't even be on
I
there.
think,
Yeah, you could have took Kawhi's spot.
Yeah,
yeah, I
thank
think
you,
he took
Mike.
Kawhi
Yeah,
because Kawhi is on a decline, and he could
because
have
he's
took
a
Kawhi's.
no-show. Yeah, he's a no-show.
Now
Yeah.
that's a third team too, and here's the third team: Devin Booker, Stephen Curry, Halliburton, LeBron James, and Sabonis. He
Wow.
could have. I think he could beat out Sabonis
You
too.
could have got Sabonis.
Yeah.
He should have been on the team, at least the second or the third. I don't think he should have been on the first.
Wait. I have to tell. Well, hey, look, I'm gonna tell you something. I say yeah about Sabonis, but I have to get that a second thought though.
No, Sabonis is decent, but there's another one. Would I want Sabonis or would I want Jaylen Brown? I don't know.
I know it's a bunch of people Sabonis can beat out to being on there before. A couple of them names we didn't already mention because I know Sabonis is up there with them. And that, all right, I get you. I ain't lost.
Can I say this? Sabonis was deserving of it. He ain't never made it. He never made it
Right.
all NBA team. Sabonis.
Right.
And he playing well for a long time. So he was deserving of it at least.
Yeah, I get you.
The only snubs I think is on the second team, which would be Kawhi Leonard and who else was that we were talking about? Maybe no, I don't see him. I don't see him sneaking in on the first team. I see him on the second team. Who's that? Kawhi Leonard, and then the third team, maybe Sabonis, maybe.
Okay.
And that would be the only way I think he could have got in.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, I was waiting on you. I wasn't saying nothing.
And, Anthony Edwards. I thought Anthony Edwards made the team.
Yeah, he made the second team. I called him out on the second team.
Okay. I didn't hear you say his name.
Yeah, it was Jalen Brunson, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Edwards, and Kawhi Leonard.
Okay, Anthony Davis. Okay, Anthony Davis. Yeah,
I felt like Jaylen Brown should have fit in on that second team because I think he beat out Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi had a decent season, but he was hurt a lot. I mean, and this is not based on your performance on how far you get your team in the playoffs. It's not based on that. It's based on your regular season performance.
Okay.
So, all right, let me ask y'all this then. Jalen Brunson played his butt off this year. Should he been on the first team?
No.
Huh?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that because it comes
And I
down
say that true tue. I don't think he's going to make it because who's on? He's not on either team. He didn't make it.
Is Kyrie on the first team?
No, he ain't on the first, second, or third. He didn't make it.
He did. He didn't.
No.
Oh, it's publicity. I get it. Well, I'll tell you, boy. NBA's cold something.
You remember what I said? You remember what I said? You remember what I said from the very start about the All NBA team is for the NBA to decide contracts too, man. So you got to look at some of these players and realize where they are and what the NBA is trying to do.
Okay.
Hold up. We had an argument not long ago about I think it was 2 years ago about Zach LaVine being on the All NBA team because his contract was coming up.
Yeah,
Remember?
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
And I think he made the third team, which got him the max.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I I went back to last year, and wow, oh, these are all defensive players. Okay, no, this year's all defensive squad. Hold on one second, guys. Yeah, this is this year's all defensive squad. Let's see if y'all agree with this. Oh, it's the second team. First team all defensive squad was Bam Adebayo, Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert, Herb Jones, and Victor Wembanyama.
He said,
That sound about right?
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds.
All NBA, all defensive team decks. Bam, Anthony Davis, Rudy, Herb Jones, and Victor. First team. I mean, just over the top of our head, off the top of our heads, we can't really think of other players right off. So I just hang on for a minute and see if we can think of somebody.
I can too.
But that's the first team.
Right off the top of my head, I can think of two.
Okay.
That young brother they got out there.
Okay, who would that be?
The young brother they got out there with the Pelicans, playing with the Pelicans. What is his name? The one, what's the name? Love all the time. She like him too. She like him because he played very good defense. Player. And also my boy out there in Minnesota. He should have been first team all defensive player. My boy.
talking about Drew Holiday.
No, not Drew Holiday. He ain't with the Pelicans. No, I'm talking about the other one. What's his name?
Talking about Herb.
You talking about
What's his name?
Herb Jones.
Uncle Vern? You talking about Herb Jones?
Herb.
He on the first team.
Yeah.
I just called his name.
Oh, okay. I bet
Look,
slow
Vern,
down.
you
Bro.
want me to record?
My hearing is bad. That means you ain't got to holler and you ain't got to repeat yourself. Just say you said it. I didn't hear you say it.
He's old
Okay.
and deaf.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
old. Yeah, he's old and deaf.
All right, I say it again.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna say it again. First
Okay.
team NBA defense team. First team. Bam
Right.
Adebayo,
Right.
Anthony
I've got
Davis.
him, Miami.
Anthony Davis,
Yeah. LA.
Rudy Gobert, Herb Jones,
Yeah.
and Victor.
One of BB. Yeah.
That's about right. Okay. Yeah. The second team. Alex Caruso, Drew Holiday, Jaden McDaniels,
Yeah.
Jaylen Suggs, and Derek White.
Okay. All
I
right.
agree with two of those. I don't know much about how well Jaden McDaniel plays defense, Jaylen Suggs, or Derek White. But I believe Alex Caruso and Drew Holiday should have made it.
McDaniels play, ain't he playing for Minnesota?
Yeah.
Ain't that's the one that used to play for Charlotte?
No, he didn't play for Charlotte, did he, Dex? Jaden McDaniels.
Wasn't Jim McDaniels?
No, that's his brother. His brother played with Charlotte.
Dex. Hey, what up, Dex?
It's not Jaylen McDaniels, it's Jaden McDaniels
Yeah, that's what.
for Minnesota.
Not Jaylen.
Jaylen McDaniels played for the Charlotte Hornets and the 76ers.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Right. He played with LaMelo.
Yes, and
Right,
his
so-
brother Jaylen come out in the 2020 draft with Melo. He's part of that 2020 draft that is so prolific and it's starting to mount up like the 1996 draft, which was probably the greatest draft of all time.
I agree.
Okay.
So that 2020 draft is producing. Hold on. That 2020 draft is producing some outstanding players that will be a fulcrum for the NBA moving forward, because that youthful movement coming out of that 2020 draft is starting to percolate and supplanting a lot of the old heads and the old guard sooner than expected.
I agree. Yep.
But listen, we need to talk about this Pacer game. I mean, we going all off on the NBA, all that. Listen, just because our teams are not in it, that don't mean that we shouldn't highlight the teams that are.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't go on too far of a tangent, especially when you got a high-profile team like the Boston Celtics putting down the demonstration, the smackdown, as their elite defense reared its ugly head and showed that the Indiana Pacers is a one-trick pony. As we speak, Jaylen Brown, the gorilla in the mist, is once again showing his powers in these here crucial last segment before you get to the NBA Finals. And then when you look over across the hall, gentlemen, Pascal Siakam is slowly taking over this team. I don't know if Halliburton feels that since he has basically secured his $260 million contract, that he can kind of take a chill pill now, that he played his way into the acceptance of the heartland of America, which is middle America, as Indiana seemed to have not had a face to put up as a prize and showcase of the organization. So Ty have that locked down. He has his $260 million guaranteed before the year started, where it actually kicks in. So he's already settled in from that rookie extension, and the NBA is loving it. So as Marvin mentioned about these all NBA players and how it attached to their contract, well, Tyrese Halliburton have fulfilled those duties, and he have definitely walked his post in a perfect manner. But when you look at Jaylen Brown, the gorilla in the mist, I mean, this guy can carry, and he looked upon as a number 2 guy. But the more we see Boston Celtics and how Jason Tatum have his little fickle start and finishes, Jaylen Brown is steadily surging and making a name for himself in the midst of them promoting JT as one of the massive figures to represent as an ambassador for the NBA. And I think that is a telltale sign. And when we go over to the Western Conference, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I beg my pardon. Look at Kyrie. Everybody's screaming, Luka, 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 right? Luka does his thing. But look at Kyrie. Kyrie starts and finish the chapter. When it's all on the line, do not bet against Kyrie. And the NBA is sucking his ass right now because of the core fans of the NBA appreciate Kyrie to an umph degree. Look how they was cheesing after calling him an idiot and don't know what he's doing. He's a fool and all this type of stuff. He gets on TNT inside the NBA, and every last one of them that mocked Kyrie, that tried to desecrate his name and legacy in the NBA, they couldn't stop asking him questions when he came before them. That just shows you how these mockingbirds and blowhards that consider themselves serious, fair, and unbiased pundits, how they lie to us, and we know who pays their pockets and the piper that blows their flute. So a lot of the controversy that swirled around Kyrie and all of the kerfuffle that was attached to his pestilence up in Brooklyn, now look at the world eating out of Kyrie's hands because he's there to help Luka win a championship. The NBA is fantastic.
I agree, Jack.
Do you think that could be Luka Do you think they could be a part of Luka being there, and the NBA want Luka to win a championship?
I could see that happen.
Are you asking me or no panic?
I'm asking you, Dex. You.
Listen, I think Kyrie. I think Kyrie.
Let me rephrase it.
Can you hear me?
Hold on before you answer. Yeah, but hang on before you answer. The question that's posed to you is this. Do you think the quiet assassin also in Kyrie Irving is going to get brought along on this ride with Luka because the NBA really wants Luka to win a championship?
Yes, and that's why they're sucking out of Kyrie's anal, is because they know there's no way Luka gonna win a championship if Kyrie don't bring his A game. They know this. They saw an example of it towards the end of last season as the Dallas Mavericks collapsed. I know they had some injuries, but they had an opportunity to be in the play-in game, and Mark Cuban chose otherwise, told J. Kidd to shut it down and wait for next season. Let the guys get the extra rest they can get, because it's probably nobody's going to beat the Denver Nuggets in that playoff tournament play. So now here is a resurgence of Kyrie based on what Anthony Edwards have vexed him to some degree. And that annoyance woke something up in Kyrie saying, check this out, little diaper dandy. You ain't ready just yet. Talking about I got Kyrie. You really got Kyrie? Okay. Yes, I take offense to it. But in a competitive way. Not no, I don't like you, but in a competitive way. Kyrie took it tongue in cheek, and as capricious as Kyrie is in his dialogue, when he expresses himself, he kind of winked at Anthony Edwards and say, boy, youngin, John, you in a world of trouble. I'm finna bring this joint to you straight to your chest, since you're gonna pronounce to the world you got me like I'm some mincemeat and can be shut down by somebody who don't know sacred geometry yet. So get a load of this. So that's why they're sucking out of Kyrie's ass, is because they know when he got his A game going, Dallas is a tremendous offensive threat. And every dribble that Luka and Kyrie have in their hands, you can see the cerebralness, and they represent an existential threat to any NBA team that opposes them.
All right, and before I go to no panic, well, actually, I want to pose this question to no panic about Kyrie. You've been in the playoff, guys, 7 times. This is seventh time in the playoffs. I want to ask you this question, no panic. What's the highest average you think he ever averaged in the playoffs?
In the playoffs,
Kyrie.
I want to say maybe like the upper 20s, like between 26 to 28.
The highest he ever averaged is 25.9 with Cleveland in 2016. Now to you, Dex, and then I'm gonna go to Uncle Aaron. He didn't play 13 games this playoff season, Dex, and you are touting him as pretty high on the level. He's averaging 21.8 this year, Dex. He's shooting
Now,
free throw percentage
now,
at
now, Marvin.
86%.
Listen, I don't know what angle. I don't
Zero
know what
blocks,
Yeah, I'm
angle
about to say
you
I don't know what
assists.
angle you going at, but I know you kind of wrong if you trying to say that he ain't playing as good or he ain't as effective or anything like that. I think when you watch the totality of what he's doing with the team,
No,
that even oh, go ahead.
what I was going to address to him is
Uh,
21 the perfect complement averaging in the playoffs when he's playing with Luka? That's the question I was going to ask.
yeah, I mean, if you asking me or Dix.
Dex, and then I'm going to go to Uncle Vern.
Of
Dex,
course,
is
Kyrie is a
21 points.
compliment.
It's 21.
It's not just
Okay,
the
hold on.
21
Is that enough
points.
for Dallas
But see, that's what
in
I'm
the
trying to
playoff? Hold on.
explain to
Is that
you.
enough for him to be able? Is that enough? Is that enough for him to be able to win a championship with Dallas, or does he need to up the ante?
Kyrie is going to give you what is needed because he know how to play Robin and he know how to play Batman. And that's what's good about Kyrie. I don't think Luka know how to play Robin. And Kyrie understand this now. At first, he probably didn't because it was a new thing with him, and he just probably thought Luka was just such a hell of a basketball player that Luka could figure out when to go, when to hold up. And Kyrie already know when to go and when to hold up. He explained that to inside the NBA. That's what took a little, you know, uh, what you call a stall in their percolation due to the fact that Luka wasn't able to calibrate his game around Kyrie. We already know Kyrie can calibrate his game around a star or even sometimes young players when in his tenure up in Boston. You understand what I'm saying? And we know what he did with KD, and we definitely know what he did with LeBron. So if Kyrie needs 21 to average 21, that's what he's going to average. I believe if Kyrie feels that he needs to average a little more than 21, then that's what he's going to do. Because there's no one on the Minnesota Timberwolves can stop his wheels from rolling. I mean, that's obvious. And Minnesota was the number one defensive team in the league, and Kyrie did that on purpose, hit him with a 30 ball, just to let them know that slow down, young Ed man. You're going to have your time, but don't try to put the cart before the horse when it comes to me, because I'm Kyrie Irving, bitch.
And to add on to that, like you got to look at the context of the entire playoffs. Kyrie been averaging what he averaging not because he can't get them buckets or whatever reason why you want to say he had the buckets. The context of the games is he been getting doubles thrown his way while Luka been being able to. They just let Luka kill him, and they gonna deal with Kyrie Irving as far as like doubling and whatnot. They ain't even playmaking for other players. You had PJ Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. step up. So at this point, you don't really need more than his 21, and then his assists going up. So at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, if the 21 come with everything else he's doing this entire playoffs, yeah, 21 would be enough. But if he been doing everything he's doing this playoffs, and they've been losing or they've been down 3-2 or 3-1 or something like that, then it's like, yeah, you would want him to score more. But for the most part, yeah, his 21 from the context of what happened in this playoffs, yeah, that's enough.
Okay. Uncle Vern, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, Mark.
Somebody holler for Uncle Vern. He can't holler. Uncle Vern.
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. I got a question for you because I've been noticing that you are. All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, buddy?
Roger.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, Vern. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear, brother. All right. Okay, your beloved y'all, can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, Vern, we can hear you.
But I can hear Vern a little more clear.
Okay. I know you guys can hear me, but I don't know if Vern can hear me clearly. All right, Vern, if you can hear me, listen to this. To your beloved Minnesota Timberwolves. I can hear Vern, but I don't know if he can hear me.
He's not talking.
To your beloved Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards. Edwards is averaging 28 points in the playoffs. Towns is averaging 18. Is that enough to get them over the hump in Towns?
Yeah, because by him averaging at 18 is nice.
I guess he couldn't hear me.
Yeah, because by him averaging that 18 right now is good. He can just go continue to keep stepping his game up as the competition get harder and harder. He's in the mode to do that. Plus, they playing well. Their defense is playing well. They're going to give Dallas the business. We're already knowing that. I just can't wait to see it. And to go right back to what I'm glad Dex can hear me well. I want to hear that. Make sure that's good. Go right back to what Dex was saying at first about that whole situation. How Dallas trying to bring push forward the Great White Hope. I don't think so. I'm sorry. Not even the Kyrie Irvings of the world is finna back down from this. I mean, it's finna back down. What's finna happen with Minnesota? Minnesota on the mission. I'm sorry. Indiana couldn't complete that. Ain't gonna be able to complete that mission. I think Minnesota's gonna complete that mission. But go ahead though, Marvin.
Okay. To you, yeah. Okay. To you, no panic. To that 18 points that Cat is scoring with Minnesota. Do you think you need to up his ante to get them over the hump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gonna be another game with Kyrie and
you think
30 for 30. And then we could do to that.
So you saying you think he needs to up his game a little bit to actually be able to beat Dallas?
Yeah, like when I say up his game, I don't really care too much about like how you saying about like if somebody like points don't matter to me. Like if like we won 2 games last series against OKC and Kyrie only scored 9 points in one game, 12 points in the next game. So it's like to me points don't really matter when it comes to like the team trying to win. It's about the matchup. To me, Cat Towns is like even if he keep us same 18 points, and 18 points need to come off of 6 threes. Like he just need to shoot the ball more, a little more. Like he can create a disadvantage for their team because he is a big man that can step out to the 3. But he ain't doing. I mean, he doing it, but it's like he mustn't. It's like so. Not so much.
That's a good.
Start dropping 30, you'll be good.
Yeah.
It's just like you need to start hitting some big shots. You need to start hitting the 3 ball.
Well,
start scratching the floor. Be a threat.
Well, the reason I asked that question, no panic, is because they lost by 3 points in game 1.
Right.
And I think him bringing his point total up every game would make a big difference in this series. I just think that.
Yeah.
When he's averaging 28, is he carrying too much of the torch? And he's a youngster.
28.
I'm not saying he's not capable of it, but yeah, he needs some help. Dex, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Dex is all right. The question I have for you next is this. Miles Turner had 8 points tonight. Halliburton got nicked up. He had 10. What's going on with Miles Turner in this series against Boston?
Well, I mean, I don't know what you mean. What's going on with him this game? Because last
this
game
series he ain't did much in it. Well, he ain't do.
No, that's not true.
Yeah,
that's
he
not
had
true.
21, I think.
21 and what?
Let me look.
It was a double-double.
In the last game is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Now the rebounds are going to be. He didn't have a good game today though at all. But what I'm asking you is, okay, hang on 1 second. He's averaging 17 and 6 in the playoffs. Game 1, he had 23 points and 10 rebounds. Today, he had 8 points and 4 rebounds. Was that adjustment from Dallas, or from Boston?
So don't say he's not having a good series. He didn't have a good game. This Texas Longhorn.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that one game.
Yeah, I'm just saying this Texas Longhorn for the Indiana Pacers. The first game, he outperformed his season average. And I gave a tip, a money bag tip to take Miles Turner player performance for game one and Pacers to cover. And both of those things happened. So, yes, he might have had a letdown this game because Boston was scurrying around on that court, man. That defense was relentless. And it showed because it kept Indiana well under their season average. We know Indiana was the highest scoring team in the league. Closing out the New York Knicks, they shot, according to Devastating, I believe what he said, they shot over 60% from the field as a team, and it was a record. So Boston had to let it be known that not in my house, right? So Boston had a cornucopia of defenders that were hungry like wolves, and there was nowhere for Indiana to turn. And this is why most of the teams suffered because Indiana's not a defensive team. So if you clamping them down, making them attempt tough shots, and they're not getting second chances at those shots, you're just getting them one and gone, then they're in a world of trouble. They don't have that type of team that can continuously to have a run in a basketball game because they can't stop anybody. You can't have a run if you score two and they score two. You can't have a run if you score two and they score three. That's not a run. A run, you got to have a stop. You got to have stops. So Indiana, is difficult for them against this Boston team to have a massive run or a continuing one. You say I'm cutting in and out? You sure it's me?
No, you good, Dexter. You made a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's Marvin, man.
Yeah.
So the thing of it is that this what makes it difficult for players like Miles Turner because he has to exert some of his offensive prowess to defense now.
All right.
Because
no panic.
Marvin, you can't hear anybody?
Somebody cutting it. Can you hear them clearly? No panic.
Yeah, I could hear him clearly. I've been on mute just now. I could hear him.
Yeah, so Marvin, it could be you.
Yeah, it's you, Marvin.
But I was saying, is that
you cut me out. I don't know if you could hear me.
Like I was saying, Boston have a
but Dex, you cut me in and out.
But they said I'm
cutting
good.
in and out real bad, Dex.
He ain't cutting in and out on me. I can hear him very good, Marvin.
All right. I'm the one cutting.
Yep.
All right, let me
that
change.
gotta be you because I can hear him. I hear him, man. Vernon. I only hear you cutting out.
All right, I'm gonna hang on, guys. I'm gonna change.
Okay. Yeah. So like I was saying is that the Boston Celtics have a.
Okay, I'm gonna change my device because I'm.
The Boston Celtics have a cornucopia of defenders that are relentless, and they welcome the challenge from Joey Mazzulla, Coach Joey, to go ahead and stop the Indiana Pacers, who are coming in as an underwhelming underdog, that they can't steal a game up at the TD Garden. And this is what I appreciate. A 16-point closeout for the first two games at the TD Garden is what you're supposed to send Indiana home like. But like I said, I don't want Boston to win 18. I just don't want them to do it. But I don't see Indiana stand in their way. Indiana's almost looking like a doormat to the NBA Finals when it comes to the Boston Celtics and that tremendous defensive team, second in the NBA in defense. And I think it could be too much. And Indiana as a team could be in over their heads.
Why are you insinuating that Indiana's a doormat?
Because most people didn't have Indiana to be there, right? Most people penciled in the Knicks or the 76ers after Milwaukee got embarrassed in the first round.
But far as most people knew, Indiana was still in that rebuilding mode. I mean, that's what I was thinking. I mean, I didn't see them get nowhere near close to what this is unheard of. In my opinion, I would almost say the same thing about Minnesota, but I had to realize Minnesota built theirs on defense.
Right, but Indiana don't have that kind of defense. That's what I was saying.
See, there you go. So that right there is going to be their downfall. I say the same thing about Dallas too. They don't have that defense. Therefore,
but their defense is better than Indiana by a long shot.
I agree.
Remember, Dallas started playing really good defense after All-Star break. When they made that trade, and I'm using Kyrie as the impetus. When they made that trade and got Gafford and PJ Washington, that changed the makeup of the Dallas Mavericks moving forward, because now they have someone that's mature in the paint and athletic. See, we know Powell was mature in the paint, but he's not athletic like Gafford, like Daniel Gafford, like DG. So when you have PJ Washington stretching the floor and not asking for the ball, clapping his hands all the damn time,
right,
and not in the way and trying to use his name as a means of, I'm here too. Okay, yeah, you Hardaway son, but you ain't Hardaway. So don't try to force yourself to be a fixture in the offensive sets when your game is not backing you up like that. Just because you got a name. And so now that interferes, because now he thinks he's more than what he is. So PJ comes over. PJ coming over like a wet puppy. Charlotte don't want him. They didn't want to pay him. You know, I lost the negotiations with the Hornets. So now I want to prove to the world that I belong and I can help a winning franchise to become winners even more. And if Kyrie mentioned your name in interviews, that says a whole lot, because Kyrie's seen a whole lot of basketball. And I believe Kyrie knows a good basketball player when he sees one. So when he mentioned PJ from the runway as a great asset for the Dallas Mavericks and a solid fit, I'm going to rock with that.
Okay. But everybody in the world that know PJ Washington know he can't play a lick of defense, so that goes right back to Dallas' problem again. He just over in the corner clapping his hand waiting for the ball.
No, PJ's not doing that. That's what I'm saying. That was Hardaway.
Hey, look. Quietly clapping his hands waiting for the ball.
And that's all you think he's doing?
Of course it is.
And PJ is playing some defense, Uncle Vern.
Because listen to me,
he out there bumping chests.
Listen, that because we all
you know the Dallas fan base call him PJ. Like he locking. I don't use the word locking, but he playing good defense. Like he playing good individual defense. Like he one of the reasons why our defense good.
Okay,
you're saying watching the game.
I don't think I remember you saying that. I don't remember you ever saying something like that about him when he was playing with the Hornets.
I wasn't.
That's the whole thing. We didn't.
Main one track.
Okay. Okay. No, don't panic. No panic. I just don't remember you saying that.
Oh yeah,
That's
no,
all.
you're
I'm
right.
surprised.
Uncle Brian.
You've been
Okay,
trash
Uncle
with the
Brian.
Hornets.
Yeah.
You've been definitely
Okay.
trash with the Hornets.
All right, guys, am I a little more clear now?
Boy,
Yeah,
you're
you good.
wonderful, Marvin.
All right, cool. Pope, you on the stream?
He needs somebody to drop the link.
He just dropped it and I got in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, then he needs to scroll up then
Yeah,
and find the link.
scroll up and get rid of that black marker at the top, Pope. All right, so I was finna head to no panic on this next question. And are you guys finished with that conversation first of all?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
mean, stole one.
no panic. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Now, your beloved Mavericks, I know you're going with them to get to the finals. Most people have Boston getting there also. The question I have for you is this. Is it vital to beat Boston by limiting their shot attempts? Meaning this.
Yes.
Tatum had 20 shot attempts today and Jaylen Brown had 27. Do you limit those shot attempts to be able to bring Boston down?
I mean, shit. From a court standpoint, I mean that do seem like the right way to go. But from a fan who watched the Celtics, I don't think they're gonna come through in the moments. I don't think Jason Tatum built for the moments like that. Like if he want to take 30 shots, like I mean, he hit a must every time you look. So it's like, I mean, I'll live and die with that. If you, to be
He was
honest with you.
he was 9 for 20 tonight. Jaylen Brown was 14 for 27.
Yeah, the hard hand.
That's good. 14 for 27. He's shooting over 50%.
9 for 20 ain't bad. He was almost 50% at 9 for 20.
Tatum only had 4 points in the first half.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Jaylen Brown. I'm talking about the gorilla in the mist.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown had a hell of a game. 14 out of 20.
I just pointing out the fact that Jason Tatum ain't get going into the second half.
Yep.
He had 19.
Yeah, he had a horrible first half.
Yeah. So if his shots up like that, that means he probably either hot or he damn sure ain't looking for his rhythm. Because when Jason Tatum, whenever he go cold, it's like you would think he would just go get to the basket, but what he do is set up for jumpers. If we get that version of Jason Tatum, yeah, let him take all the shots he want, because all he gonna do is be a bunch of long rebounds.
So in other words, you are pretty confident if Dallas meets Boston in the finals.
Yeah, because I think just Dallas in his own can stay up with any team up until the full quarter. If they can keep it close, my money always gonna be on Luka and Kyrie in the last 5 minutes. I can't find no other player in the league I'll put over those two when it comes to going bucket for bucket.
Obviously, you wouldn't take Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Hell no. I watched them for multiple years in a row. So I listen, shouts out to them for getting to the Eastern Conference Final a lot to be that so young of a team. I mean, young of a tandem, I should say, but about what you do when you get there. I ain't see them do nothing when they get there yet.
See, I think Jaylen Brown is not waiting on Jason Tatum anymore. In the past, he would have surrendered a portion of the minutes played on the court together and would acquiesce to Jason Tatum. But I think now Brown is in that mature stage that, he's a $300 million man, and he's not going to just, play the back row. Now, Tatum comes and he start cooking, Brown is not going to get in his way. But he's not going to wait for Tatum to catch hold and throw him a lifesaver. So Brown is going to continues to ball, and Tatum just got to catch up. But Tatum is kind of a player that he can catch rhythm, and when he catch rhythm, he's unstoppable. And we saw that in the second half.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact, because if you look at the post game when they been talking to him, they asked him, they say, so how much did Jason struggles in the first half mean for you to get going? He been like, nothing. Like, that's what I'm supposed to do. Just like you saying, like he ain't waiting on Jason Tatum no more. He ain't. Well, if he having a bad game, then I'm gonna go off. It's like I going off regardless.
Okay. Did Pope get in?
Yeah, I'm in, man. I'm in. What's going on, fellas?
What up, P?
What's going on?
All right, now what's up, Pope?
I got a couple of questions for you, P. And it's pertaining to the Pacers.
Okay.
the Pacers in itself, I'm gonna run something down to you here. The Pacers are not okay. How do I put this? The Pacers are sitting at 2 games down against Boston. First of all, did you expect them to win 1 game in Boston?
Me? No.
You didn't?
No.
Okay.
I don't expect them to win no game.
Oh, you looking for a sweep?
Sweepy situation.
All right. The Pacers have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys averaging double figures. Is that a recipe? And the highest guy on the team is Pascal Siakam averaging 21, and Halliburton 19, Turner 17, and Nembhard 12. Is that a nice philosophy in winning in the playoff when you have that? Because what the coach of the Pacers does is play a lot of players. Can they beat Boston by doing this, or do they need to turn it up with Pascal and Halliburton?
Well, I mean, it's always good when you got multiple scores, but what are you giving up on the defensive end? You getting stops? Because the defense gonna win you championships. You can score, but it's the other team scoring more.
All right. Do you think that first game that they lost was a critical game, because they actually had that damn game won?
Yeah. I think every game, especially when you're the underdog, is vital. Definitely, you're the underdog. I think, especially if you got one and you let it slip away, that's the worst. So
yeah, on the road too. You're right.
Yeah, that's tough.
All right, so I already got your answer on what you feel about them. The next question is for Dex. Next is just one answer. It's just one quick answer. Will Indiana win the next game in Indiana, Dex?
I find that a strong possibility that Indiana can win the next game, because I think right now Boston feel that they got the 2, they got homes, they held down their crib, and I don't think that they're gonna sleep on Indiana like they did in the first game, which was a nail biter and a skier that they could have possibly lost that game and lost home court advantage. So I don't think Indiana will creep on them anymore. I think Boston got their legs back. They've been, sitting, resting for a long time, and Indiana came off of that heroic 7th-game win in the Garden, and they was feeling good about themselves, and they almost clipped the New York Knicks. Indiana could win the next game, and it could tie the series up. But Indiana is not going to escape out of the TD Garden with a victory. And so the Celtics will be in the NBA Finals.
All right, so all I'm asking for is the next game, Saturday.
I agree with that too, Jack.
All I'm asking is for the next game. Will Indiana win the next game?
No. Like I said, it's a strong possibility.
Hold on. I'm coming to you next, Uncle Vern. Hang on one second. Go ahead, Dex.
Yeah, because it's a strong possibility, because the way they grinded out that Knicks series, they feel that they probably can beat anybody, especially when they try to clamp down on defense. But so far, the Boston Celtics have proved that they are a much superior team, especially when they go for that defensive smash. Indiana has no answer for it. But when you at home, you play better, the crowd is on your side, and the visiting team could, come to town, coming off their travel, and, they could have a letdown. So it's very possible that Indiana could win the first game in Naptown in the Eastern Conference championship game.
All right, so you're not giving them a definite yes, you saying possibility?
Yes, because Tyrese Halliburton kind of got nipped up a little bit, so we got to find out how serious that is, and will it affect his play coming game 3.
Okay. All right. Uncle Vern, who wins the next game? Who wins the next game in Indiana against Boston?
Okay, Indiana's gonna lose that game. They're gonna lose like Pope said. I see a sweep going on out there. Just on the strength of what you had alluded to at first, that Dex just mentioned. Halliburton ain't playing up to potential right now because he's lingering, he's hurt, and he's the only thing they got to a certain extent. He can't be able to step it up like that is going to be expected of him to do such, especially coming against that firepower that Boston got. They
All
don't
right.
stand a chance.
So you going Boston. You going Boston.
I wouldn't pick them in a fight. You dig?
So you
Especially
going
the
Boston.
7-game
That's all I'm
series.
saying. You
Say
going
it again,
Boston.
who?
You going Boston?
Yeah, Boston coming out of the East. Yeah.
No panic. Who wins game 3 in Indiana?
Boston, especially with
Yeah.
Halliburton out.
And I understand that kind of not necessarily knowing if he's going to play or not. All right. If he's healthy, who wins the game?
Boston.
If Jimmy he ain't healthy, next question.
Listen, I don't want to call it a sweep, man, but hey, listen, gentlemen, get him a gentleman sweep. We good.
All right. And this question to all of the guys on the panel. Is Indiana truly lucky? First of all, I want to say this to all of y'all because I really thought if New York was healthy, they'd have killed Boston. Did Boston get lucky to get where they are?
Boston.
No,
Well, I mean,
they've been there before.
I'm sorry, not Boston. Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
They beat the first round.
God bless them. They
Who they
coming
beat
off
in the
a
first round?
rebuild. They coming off a rebuild.
Who did Indiana beat in the first round?
Yeah.
Indiana beat Milwaukee in the first round because Milwaukee was banged up. Well, I ain't gonna say it was because of that, but that's who they beat. No, it wasn't. They didn't beat it. They played in the play in. Hang on, let me check it.
I mean, in-season tournament. Yeah, they did play in the in-season tournament, and they beat Milwaukee. But Milwaukee was banged up, Marvin. You're 100% right on that. Giannis was a no-show. Damian Lillard, towards the end, he fell apart, and it was just disastrous. And Doc Rivers couldn't patch him up well enough to get past a fairly healthy Indiana team, even though Indiana was missing one of the key players in Benedict Mathurin.
Yeah, and that he is the key to this team. Now they did beat Milwaukee 4-2 in the first round. They went 7 with the Knicks, and both of those teams were banged up. Now they're down 0-2. So I guess the consensus is because I say Indiana's going to win this next game. Okay, I say it just because the NBA want them, you know what they're about, money. They want the series to go a little bit, at least 5, at least. And if it is a game that Indiana is going to win, it's going to be the first game in Indiana. I would think so. The game today, I think that was predicated on what Boston took out of the first game. I think they understood that Indiana has a chance if you give them a chance. Well, in this game today, Boston went up a little bit at the half and they never let off the gas. Third quarter, they left them. They left them behind. So I say Indiana.
That's just a perfect example, Marvin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be honest. It's a perfect example of the Boston Celtics reminding their East Coast Conference counterpart, Indiana, right now, that they're the number 2 defense in the league and would have been number 1. Listen to this. The Boston Celtics would have finished the season out number 1 in defense, but they were so far ahead, they started resting their main players and letting the bottom tier talent play more than they probably would expect it to if the conference was a little more tight in their race. Whereas Minnesota, OKC, and Denver was at a fever pitch trying to get the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they had something to play for, Minnesota.
Okay.
But Boston didn't. They clinched their division like, the conference, like 2 weeks or 3 weeks into the end of the season. They had already clinched home court.
Okay. All right, Pope, to you. In this Indiana Celtic, you still there, Pope?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. In this last game that was just played today, again, the Celtics and the Pacers, from what Dex just said about the Celtics defense, the Pacers actually scored 29 points in the third and 30 in the fourth. But Boston scored 36 in the third and 33 in the fourth. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is because Dex said Boston's defense, stellar defense. Now, they could have let up because they did have a little lead. But at the half, it was a close game. Boston won this game in the third quarter. They outscored them 36-29 by 7 points. The fourth quarter was 30-33. Is that a confidence boost for Pacers, knowing that they can score 30 points in the fourth quarter against Boston, and maybe they can win game 3?
I mean, NBA teams, especially at this point in the season, everybody gonna have a run at some point. You're not just gonna really just shut guys out all 4 quarters. So if they had put up an insurmountable lead to the point where they could relax, keep their foot off the gas, then put it back on the gas just to make sure they cruise home, then that ain't nothing to look at. That ain't nothing you don't want to look at. We won the third quarter and we put up 30 on them. It was too late. Too late to apologize.
Okay. All right. And the next 2 is going to go to No Panic and Uncle Vern, because they fighting over this Dallas, Minnesota thing. So I want to ask No Panic first. No Panic, you there?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Dallas. And I know you don't want to answer this question, but I'm going to ask it to you. I'm going to ask it to you anyway, because we need to know where you think your weaknesses are on Dallas. With Luke and Kyrie playing the way they're playing in the playoffs right now, and I know you wouldn't get this information in Minnesota, but I want to hear what you say. What's your winning theory for Minnesota to win the next game? Now, remember, this next game is at home in Minnesota, and we had mentioned yesterday that maybe this might have been a must-win game for Minnesota. Now, they play tomorrow in Minnesota. How can Minnesota win this game? I know it's hard for you to answer because you're a Dallas fan, but I want to know what you think.
I mean, it's 2 ways you can win it. Either the role players got to go cold, or not only do Cat got to bring a full clip, Ant got to bring a full clip, and need somebody else to be knocking down some threes. Like, it ain't hard to beat the Mavericks. You just need to be up big by the time the end of the game come. By the time the last 5 minutes come, just be up big.
Okay, so and before I go to Uncle Vernon, this last question to you. You don't think pace has a lot to do with this series?
No. I think when you playing a team like the Mavericks, who built for the playoffs, regardless of what they did in the regular season, they built for the playoffs. The good teams make you play how they want to play. Ain't nothing you can do about it. You might get that 1 or 2 games that you can break out and have your own low pace going on, but you ain't doing that with Dallas. Like, the team kind of follows the same blueprint of Luka Doncic game. Like, you can't speed him up, you can't slow him down. You gonna play Luka ball. He gonna do what he want to do. Okay. That's how the team built.
All right, Uncle Vern.
Pace thing, but
yeah.
Uncle Vern, you there? Okay, nice. I want to hear you loud and clear on this one, Vern.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because you just heard what No Panic had to say about how maybe your team can win this next game. Now, we talked earlier on this stream about Towns only averaging 18 points, and then No Panic mentioned that he really don't look at it as points. He just needs his effort to come up or whatever.
Right.
Give me your blueprint on Minnesota winning game 2, because I'm telling you right now, if they don't win game 2, Uncle Vern, they not going to the championship.
I don't know why you say that, but go ahead. The blueprint of winning game 2 is just go back with what got them there, and that's their defense. Set their defense down. Like we've been talking all the times about runs and stuff like that. One thing about them, they can take a run. They can succeed from it against anybody, against any team in the NBA. They know this already themselves because they have the players and the personnel to do such. But another thing that's good about them is they have that will to a certain extent not to give up, and they got that momentum like that. So they're always going to be by their own character, by their own conduct and their character, their team. They're always going to find themselves in the games like that. Now they're getting to a point that finding out how to finish those games, and they're doing that very well. And they relied on the first thing that got them there, that defense. And the rest of the teams out here ain't got it like that, except for Boston, I would say.
Okay, all right. And before I come back, I'm not through with you and No Panic, but I wanted to ask Pope and Dex one question. One answer from each one of you guys. Who wins game 2 in Minnesota, Dex?
Wow, that's a tough one. I think Minnesota can win game 2 because the onus is on them to win in order to keep up with the series and bring it to an equilibrium. If they go down, like you said, Marvin, 0-2 to the Mavericks, I think they will have their heads down and their shoulders slumped, and they wouldn't have a good disposition, and that could turn into an eventual sweep because a lot of pride will escape them if they go down 0-2 after beating Denver in Denver 2-0, and now they're in the same situation, surrendering their turf and their tip to the Dallas Mavericks. So I got to go with Minnesota winning game 2 because it's practically a must win for Minnesota. And like I said, if you're not making any shots or your shots are not falling, it's going to be very difficult for you to play defense and get into your defensive stance and allow your foray to be fortunate. So Minnesota have to come in and make up their minds if they want to win this game and stay out of the pussy. Because they at home, they land with their girls. I know what happened. They landed with them girls, and it was a step slow while Dallas came in on the road knowing as a veteran winning team that they are to stay in the hotel, keep the curfew, and keep your energy and go out and play like real thoroughbreds.
Okay. Pope, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. My question is a little different for you. First of all, it's the same answer. I mean, same question that I asked Dex, but I got a couple more things I'm gonna throw in with it.
Okay, sure.
With Edwards only shooting 16 times in game 1 against Dallas. First question. Do you think he needs to shoot more?
Oh, hell yeah. Of course.
Okay.
He's the only scorer on the team.
All right. And who wins game 2? And who wins game 2? And who wins game 2?
Yeah, like Dex said, that is a tough one. I'm all for Anthony Edwards supposedly beating this team. But Luka is true. He true, and Edwards ain't ready yet. I know they want to push him to be the face of the NBA and all of that good stuff, but for him to come out and say he was exhausted, having to guard Kyrie Irving, well, guess what, nigga? You got to guard Kyrie Irving again.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not gonna change. You're gonna have to guard him. And so, if you exhausted after game 1, you little young pup, you're a little young pup. You're wet behind the ears still. Kyrie Irving is damn near 40, and you talking about you exhausted. That's the last thing I want to hear from my superstar player. Your job is to be an athlete and be in tip-top shape. So I'm paying you all these hundreds of millions of dollars to tell me you exhausted.
Okay. All right. And before I leave you, Pope, I did want to say this. I'm looking at the schedules, guys, and all the way up until.
Oh, hold on, my bad. I don't mean to cut you off. Just before, wait, my bad. LaMelo don't never get exhausted. Caitlin Clark don't never get exhausted. They play all game long, run up and down the court. They don't get exhausted.
Okay.
I don't want to hear. I'm sorry. That just ticked me off because I was rooting for the young fella. I was rooting for the young fella.
And
so I got Dallas to win game 2.
Wow, he got Dallas. And the reason I wanted to go further with that, Pope, is because I'm looking at the schedules, guys, and tomorrow is Friday. They got a game, each one of these teams, every other day, so ain't no rest. They play Friday, Dallas and Minnesota, Saturday, Boston and Indiana, Sunday, Dallas and Minnesota, Monday, Boston and Indiana, Tuesday, Minnesota, Dallas, and Wednesday, Indiana, Boston. So to Pope's, the same thing Pope was saying about Edwards being tired. If he was tired after game 1, he gonna be dead because they don't get a break. They don't have a 2-game rest in these finals. All right.
Like
so
I was saying,
Yeah. So I wanted to emphasize that because Pope was talking about how Edwards was talking about he was a little tired, and you said it too, Dex.
Yeah,
And
but
I thought
he just didn't finish. Anthony Edwards didn't finish the statement why he was tired.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
well, I
saying?
mean,
He
it was
coming
pretty
off the
damn
road.
obvious. It's pretty
He
damn
coming
obvious.
he coming off the road. He coming off the road
7
from
games.
52-80.
Yeah.
And now he goes back home. The team, they go back home to Minnesota. And guess what? He lays up in
Party
the
time.
bosom. You know what I'm
Party
saying?
time.
We already know
Party
what
time.
happened. He laid
Yep.
up in the bosom, but he just gave it too many strokes. Anthony, you only supposed to give him 7 strokes. You went 15 strokes. You went 15 strokes strong. And that right there took your little extra energy that you needed to chase Kyrie around on the court. And Big Cat, Rudy, and all of them the same thing. Because they all laid a dud and allowed Dallas to come in and clip them. And now Dallas have home court advantage throughout the playoff. And this is why I say Minnesota going to win the next game, because Dallas came in what they wanted to do. They came, they saw, they came, they conquered, right? Ain't that how they say it?
Yeah.
I saw, I came, I conquered. So they got the split. They
All right,
cool.
hold on, no
And if
panic.
Minnesota give them a second game, then that's something different.
I'm sorry, Uncle Vern, hang on one second because I'm coming to you next. Because the last 2 things I want to address in this is to no panic and come on. To no panic and Uncle Vern. Uncle Vern, you first.
All right.
Who wins game 2?
Game 2. What? Minnesota? Yeah, Minnesota. I see Minnesota win the game 2, bro. Just on the strip, like what I said at first, man. Minnesota gonna win the game 2, and they playing in Minnesota, right? Right. Hey, Minnesota. Why not? The Mavericks just got lucked up and won that game because of that Kyrie situation. I see them put a stop on that because I see their game plan is working because of the fact that how they went through Denver and handled that situation in Denver. You understand me? I saw how that worked in Denver, how Denver won the first 2 games or something like that, or how it went with that. And I see how they closed it and finished it out. I saw that game 7, and that made me be a believer that they held something else and it ain't bullshit. And Anthony Edwards is a good leader. Only thing about him, like you said before about that get tired stuff like that, I don't see it like that. Sometimes the game gets to be a little bit overwhelming. You understand me? And he have to, go out and put on that Superman cape. But I see him, man. He ain't got no problem with having that Superman cape on. And he handling that real well right now. And this is the playoffs, and this is the time to be handling the things real well. So he got things going rightly and in order. So I don't think him lacking ain't nothing on nothing. And I don't smell no breath. I don't smell no milk on his breath neither, Pope. So I'm gonna tell you, that young man built for this occasion. Back to you, Marvin.
Great answer. Great response. Okay. Last one question for you on this one, Uncle Vern. What's the score of game 2? Do they blow them out or is it close?
Blow them out. I think Anthony Edwards going to get to that blowout mode. I think it's blowing them out. I've seen them do it before. I have stopped doing it against the champions, the ex-champions. I've seen them tell you just take over. Yeah, blow them out. Dog them. Cakewalk them. Yeah, dog walk them. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right. Dog walk them. Yeah, I see a blowout.
Okay, all right. And the reason
I saw Dallas get lucky and get that one, but I don't see no more 1s and 2s them getting no more. Back to you, Marvin.
All right, and the reason I asked you that, Vern, is because I'm finna get a response from No Panic, which is a Dallas fan, and I'm gonna ask him the same things. You there, No Panic?
Right. So,
yeah, I am.
All right. You seen what happened in game 1.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I'm gonna ask you this question with a quick answer. Do you think that's the blueprint how Dallas is gonna win this series, or you think that Minnesota just dropped the ball in game 1?
No, I don't see it as a blueprint, and I don't see it as they dropped the ball. I just see it as that's a quick answer. I don't see it as they dropping the ball, and I don't see how it's just that's the blueprint for the rest of the series.
All right, cool. So who wins game 2?
Dallas won game 2, but I can definitely see this being the game that we lose.
So you're unsure?
I ain't sure.
So you don't want to give a yeah or nay?
I mean, I'm gonna say yeah because I'm rooting for them to win. But I mean, if we being realistic, like we always got that one game in the series that we either get blowout or we just ain't really come to play, and then we'll come back and win 2 in a row. Like that's how it been playoffs, and then in the regular season we've been kind of the same way. We'll rattle off them low 15, 16 ones in a row, but we will also have like a scratch where it's like, yeah, you could tell they kind of like not so much resting, but they ain't putting the effort into a certain stretch. So I mean, we might have that one blunder of a game. That might be it.
Okay. All right. Last on this subject for Pope and Dex. Those two takes that you guys just heard from those two guys, which are the teams that they like, are they overblowing it or are they right on point? First, you, Pope.
Oh, Dale, say that question again. So are they, or who overblowing it? I missed that. I'm sorry.
All right, check it out.
Go ahead, let Dex answer it, and I'll be able to. I'll catch up from there.
All right, Dex, did you? I'll run the question to you one more time, Dex. You just heard No Panic, and you just heard Uncle Vern. Both of them. One of them like Dallas, one's like Minnesota. They gave their takes on why they felt who would win Game 2, and they were pretty. Well, Uncle Vern was pretty adamant about his boys. Do you think it was an adamant take, or do you think they might be out of the realm a little bit and not seeing exactly what the team is up to?
Well, I take it like this. The Dallas Mavericks came to do what they plan on doing. They accomplished their goal to get one out of Minnesota to be able to steal home court advantage. And I think they're satisfied with that because we've seen how this trends. The visitors take the first game, and then the home team comes back and show their masculinity and dominance and try to pull out a blowout. And most times that happens because the other team already accomplished their goal. So you can have this game too. And I think Dallas will come out less fervent than they had the first game because their goals has been accomplished. And Minnesota already surrendered home court. So Minnesota have to focus on winning the next game, which is Game 2. And hopefully they could still win in Dallas to recapture home court. So I think Minnesota will be the more fervent team coming out because they almost at the brink of desperation in this here series by Dallas being the type of team that they are still in Game 1.
Okay. All right, and Pope, as you heard Dex, the question I had posed was, I don't know if you heard No Panic and Uncle Vern's takes. Uncle Vern's take was on Minnesota. No Panic's take was on Dallas. Both of them one is a Dallas fan, one is a Minnesota fan. Do you think they are homie fans or those takes pretty much on point?
Yeah, well, everybody's opinion is their opinion. So if they feel like it's on point, it's on point. So I'm not here to argue their opinions, but they both have some good points. You know what I mean? They both make good arguments on what they're talking about. That's why it's going to be a tight race and a tough battle in this series. I don't think neither team going to run away with it or have those blowout type of, just look like they dominate one another. It's a learning curve for Edwards, and he definitely wet behind the ears because even if you was exhausted, one thing's for sure, you don't tell nobody that. Keep that to yourself. Right. As the OG, you'll know to keep that to yourself and come out there and do better next time. So he'll learn.
All right. And this question is all for you guys. With these games coming down, they only get one day off all the way up until next Wednesday. Is advantage home team who's winning the series right now, or is advantage the road team coming in? Because now, like I said, they play Friday, Dallas plays Minnesota, Saturday, Boston plays Indiana, Sunday, Minnesota, Dallas. Monday, Boston, Indiana. Tuesday, Minnesota, Dallas. And then Wednesday, Indiana, Boston. Now, I say the question again. With these consecutive games, one day off every game, leading all the way up to next Wednesday. First to you, Dex. Is this an advantage for either team, or do you think it's normal for the schedules of the NBA? Dexter? No, he gone. Go ahead, Pope. Give me your take on that. With them
Say that one
playing,
more time. My bad.
all right. What it is they have one game in between each game all the way up. Each team has one game rest in between each game all the way up until next Wednesday.
Right.
Can this really make or break one of these series? And if it could, who do you see which one of the teams? There's only 4. Which one of the teams you think can really take advantage of this?
See, for me, okay, when Hooper's hoop, man, and I know I never played at this level and all of that. I know a couple buddies and things that have, but Hooper's hoop. This ain't football. You're not going across the middle. You're not getting hit by Ray Lewis. You do got to bang bodies and whatnot. But it's basketball, man, and Hoopers is gonna hoop. We love to hoop. We got a game every other day. That's what's up. We ain't trying to wait and all this. We ready to get back on the court, especially after to correct your incorrects. If you was incorrect a lot out there that led you to a loss, you can't wait to get back and correct that. So, because that real Hoopers, you can't sleep. You know what I mean? Right. You can't eat right after losses. And yeah, so now you be ready to play, man.
Yeah. All right. So the reason I asked you that too, Pope, is because you were mentioning that Edwards said he was tired.
Right.
Now, he ain't finna get much rest. Can that be a factor in this series? These games. Yeah, because he gets very little rest. Yeah.
Yeah, major factor, man. That's why you don't tell your opponent nothing like that, and you just need to know for sure. It's time you better go hit the treadmill after this. What do you mean? You better go hit the punching bag, the speed bag, get something going.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Uncle Vern, I'm coming to you next anyway. Now you say your Minnesota Timberwolves are young whoopper-snappers that can get it done. These next games all in a row like this should mean nothing to you. You don't think it means nothing? You think the advantage is for your team or Dallas?
I will say right now the advantage is for Dallas because they won up. They up 1. But it comes right back to my team again because I'm sitting there looking at my team and I'm seeing how all the way through from the first game, from the first shot all the way to the last shot, this game stayed so close it's pitiful. You understand me? So ain't no big runs being made. My thing is this. Our team got a very good defense and they know how to shut things down. And right now they got another game at home. And they know how to bring I'm expecting them to bring that defense to shut this big old offensive weapon team we so-called playing against down. So I don't think that's going to be a hard feat because this game was decided by 3 points?
Yep.
Okay. So, boy, I'm telling you, I don't think Dallas is going to have too much of a good chance. I think they got it lucky. Yeah, it's favored them, yes, right now. But I don't think or see that favoritism going too well in their hands right now, actually, because it's too easy to stay in the game with them.
Okay.
They ain't blowing nothing out.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
No panic. You there?
Yeah.
All right. Same question to you, except a little twist. Now, I hear your confidence in the Mavericks against Timberwolves. I can hear it. It's almost like you eating popcorn. You ain't even worried about it. But if you think about this game, now I'm serious on this one. If you think about game 1, this game was close, very close. No panic. You outscored them 26-22 in the 4th. That's what won the game for you. But everywhere else, you lost the first quarter 33-27. You did win the second quarter 32-29, and you won the third 23-21. It's showing up to be a defensive matchup, actually. The 4th quarter was 26-22 in favor of the Mavericks. With this game, remember I mentioned to you yesterday about bringing the pace up. Minnesota bringing the pace up to get Luka's legs a little heavy, and without them having a break, 1 day rest all the way up until next Wednesday. Is the advantage Mavericks or Minnesota?
I mean, I wouldn't really say it's an advantage either way. I mean, the Mavericks actually win the most games on the road in the postseason this year. So I mean, us playing on the road ain't been a problem. And we play in LA in the first round and then OKC in the second. So I mean, I wouldn't say it's an advantage either way.
Okay.
I think it'd be more of an advantage like if even like 2 days in between, it'll be like, okay, well, that advantage go to Minnesota because they've been coming off a 7-game series and now they get to get a little break, then advantage will go to them. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, like how Pope was saying, like it's an NBA, like you gotta play, you can't get tired. Like then part of the game is running up and down the court, and then when you tie like that, you still gotta be able to hit shots at the end of the game. That's why it sounds so confident in the Mavericks, because like I know Luka, no matter what he go throughout that game, he gonna have it in the fourth. I feel the same way about Kyrie.
Okay, now Dallas didn't win it last year.
Nope.
I don't want to go back
They ain't even make it to the playoffs. They
That's
give
what
up.
I'm saying. And they were in it the year before that, and they haven't won it in a long time.
Yeah.
You so confident in Dallas, and you figuring they're gonna beat Minnesota. Are you confident in Dallas simply because Minnesota is a younger team, or is Dallas that much better?
It's hard for me to explain because when I look at Dallas, it's not like I think Dallas is that much better than teams. I think they just more built for this type of environment. Like, think about it. Like, what if your game plan is, as long as we hang around to be within 10 points with 5 minutes left, we got a better than 50% chance of winning. Would you take that?
Well, anything over 50% mean you got a good chance of winning. Yeah, I would take it. Go ahead.
And that's how I feel about the Mavericks. The team good enough when they come to depth, when they come to like defensively. Like that's one thing I don't hear people talk enough about Dallas defense, how good they. Well, we got a top 3 defense if you really think about it. And we from the trade deadline to the end of the season, best defense in the league. And this playoffs, I think we like number 2 in the league. I mean, 2 in the league of all 16 teams. So at the end of the day, it's like if I know I got that, if I know my team can keep me close. And then when they get to the crunch time when the superstars got to catch up, put up numbers, I got 2 of those. And not only do I got 2 of those, I got 2 of the best. Like if you name the top 5 right now closers in the league, they're gonna be 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. So at what point do I feel like, like unless you blowing them out, that's the only chance you got. You got to get in their ass early. That's how you take the Mavericks out. You got to get in their ass early and stay on them to the end of the game.
Okay, Dex, you back? I see you, Dex, but can you hear us?
Yes.
All right. The question I just posed to the guys was, you remember I ran down starting tomorrow, each team has 1 day rest all the way up until next Wednesday. The question I have for you is this: in both series, is it good for either or another team? Could it be an advantage for one team? And in the in the Dallas series, do you think that can make a big difference in the outcome of that 7-game series?
Could you kind of say that again?
Okay, I'm gonna simplify it.
Yeah, give me a synopsis.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is this. Minnesota and Dallas is playing the next 3 games within 6 days. Do you think which team has advantage in that case?
I'm gonna go with Minnesota.
All right. Now, with you saying Minnesota, you remember yesterday we were on the stream, and I just told I just was rapping to No Panic about me suggesting getting the pace up against Dallas to be able to beat them. With 3 games in 6 days and Minnesota in dire straits of winning game 2. If Minnesota wins game 2, can this series change?
Of course, but like I said earlier, is that Minnesota have to win in Dallas. It's a must. Or they're going to be going home, and Dallas will advance. So winning game two, that's one step. But you gotta recover or recapture home court advantage. So you got to go to D-Town and win. What is that? American Airlines?
Yeah.
American Airlines Arena. You got to go there. You got to go there and win. So it doesn't.
But you just heard Panic. You just heard No Panic say Dallas they tend to lose home games.
I know, but what I'm also saying is that Minnesota have to impose.
No, what I said is
feature.
they got the most road playoff wins out of any team in the playoffs. Not so much.
They actually play better on. They play better on the road than a lot of other teams in this postseason. They've been playing well. Continue.
Minnesota also play well on the road.
Okay, Uncle Brian. Don't get your pistol. Don't get your pistol.
I just wanted to, make sure you understand.
Go ahead.
Matter of fact, they show out on the road. Ask Dex.
Okay. Vern, I'm gonna come to you.
Your trap and take over your trap.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So like I said, Minnesota have to avoid a collapse, and Chris Finch is going to have to come up with some kind of stratagem to counter Jay Kidd, because Jay Kidd came and done what he wanted to do in the very first game. You know what I'm saying? He came, he conquered. So they cool. This is why I believe Minnesota will win and win big, because Dallas already got the split. Dallas now turned this series around by capturing home court.
Mm-hmm.
So Minnesota will win game two, like I said, and I think they will win in grand fashion unless they collapse. But if they just play the same way they played in the first game, then I think that could propel them to win that second game, because Dallas is not coming in playing with high fever pitch. Why would you? Most teams that come and win and still a game on the road, that next game in that same building, they tend to get blown out.
Okay. All right. So I got answers from all four of you guys. I'm gonna give mine. I asked the question of the consecutive games with only 1 day rest for a very good reason. For one, Pope brought up the fact that Edwards outright said he was tired. For two, I think up pace is a detriment to Dallas, because I think if you get Luka's legs tired, you might have a chance. Now, Dex, you kind of buked that with me yesterday by saying that Kyrie's not going to be tired. Well, I don't know, but he usually not. But I think if Minnesota's going to win this series, they got to get the pace up. You can't play a slow down game against Boston, which you're not going to beat them. And to No Panic's situation, I mean, what he the take
said
he
Boston, or you meant Dallas?
Yeah, he was wrong. He just made a mistake.
Yeah, I mean Dallas. I'm talking about Dallas and Minnesota, guys. I'm sorry, I don't mean Boston. I'm gonna talk about them in a minute. In the Dallas and Minnesota series, I think up pace is the way to beat Dallas. I think it's the only way you're gonna beat them. Because if you're gonna slow it down and play playoff basketball with them, you're not gonna get around Kyrie and Luke. It's not gonna happen. They're a good enough defensive team to stay close. They've been doing it the whole playoff. They've been doing it all year. They stay 4, 6, 8. Even at 12 and 10, they have the capability of coming back. But as No Panic said, when you can get them down 20, they're a little different team, because now Luka's got to pick up the pace a little bit more. They got to shoot a little quicker. They got to do things out of their realm. So I think the next 3 games for Dallas and Minnesota in 6 days is a plus for Minnesota. And the reason it's a plus for Minnesota is only because of the youth. And
Okay, you agree with me then. You agree with me and Uncle Vern for Minnesota. But let me ask you something while you in the middle of your banter.
Go ahead.
Marvin, what makes you think the Minnesota Timberwolves want to run? Who on the Minnesota Timberwolves outside of Anthony Edwards want to or Jaden McDaniels want to run up and down that court?
Well, I'm
What's
gonna
his
answer.
name?
Wait,
That speed he
hold
got.
on, Vern. Hold on. I'm gonna answer the question like this, Dex. None of them want to run, but they have to. That's the only way you're gonna beat Dallas.
But that would be a advantage to Dallas of anything because Dallas don't have two big 7-footers trying to run up and down the court all day. Y'all got Nas Reed coming off the bench. Then why?
Okay, all right.
Y'all ain't built to Minnesota ain't built to
To
run.
that, my answer to that is over. I'm gonna go to Pope right now. Pope, you there?
I think Pope's gone.
Okay, well, Uncle Vern,
Yeah.
this question's for you then.
Okay.
Since you say Minnesota's gonna win this series, is it a fast pace? Is it slow down? Is it walk it up? Or is it just like game one?
It's the fast pace. And the fast pace is because of what's his name? That guard they got. What's his name? What's his name? Lowry, what is his name? Number 10?
Conley.
Conley.
And you know Conley's 65 years old, right?
I mean, and he fast as lightning. I mean, what else you want?
I'm just saying.
And that's one thing he do, Dodie Dex. He known for doing what? Pushing a fast pace. Right, Dex? So you ain't got
in his youthful days, but now, he kind of, even with the Jazz with Spider-Man, he wasn't really pushing no pace. They was having an offensive set under Snyder.
Yeah, but okay, I understand that. Okay, now maybe I'm over exaggerating, and I may be hold true to that. I know I used to see him do that, and don't look like he slowed. It don't look like to me he slowed down none. So maybe I am exaggerating. I have to change my mindset as I watch the results.
Okay, that's a decent take.
Yeah,
no pain.
They want to run.
And I'm sorry, Dix. I wanted to finish my answer to you about why I felt. I mean, you asked me why did I think Minnesota's gonna run, and I gave you the answer that I felt. They have to. That to me, that's the only way you're gonna beat Dallas. Now they might have a different whole thing against either Indiana or Boston, but to beat Dallas, the blueprint for Minnesota is to push the ball.
Yep.
I think.
So y'all gonna bench Rudy?
Why Dallas can't use? I mean, why Minnesota can't use their muscle?
Because Dallas shoots too well as a percentage team, Dex. They're gonna tit for tat, and then at the end of the game, Luka and Kyrie gonna kill you.
Well, you became. And speaking of Minnesota, you became a beast on defense based on the pace that you dictate with your defense. Now, if they just go ahead and just allow their defense to disappear, then running up and down the court might seem feasible. But they came with a defensive prowess. And I'm quite sure they're going to hang their hats on their defense, win or lose, because that is what catapults them into the situation that they are in now, from a play-in team to a playoff team.
Yep.
That they enhance the defense. So why would they give up on defense when that got them there? Why would they dismantle that kind of a structure when that structure got them there, Marvin?
And then when you running with pace, like you need an offense where you got more than just Conley who can handle the ball. But and no matter how much you're gonna say, well, Ant can handle the ball too, and he ain't looking to play me. That's why you need a point guard next to him. So at the end of the day, it's like you don't even get the offense to run it. Then your big man who lasts up court, your trailer, he got to be a shooter to make everything come into a bowl if you can keep running like that. And Rudy can't do that. So now you got to bench I don't know how much he getting paid yet. You got to bench that. You got to bench one of your main players, like Dex said. Y'all whole defense built around the fact that his defensive prowess around the rim, how he changed shots.
Ain't no panic. Ain't no
You
panic.
getting rid of that to run?
Let me remind you, no panic, because Towns can hit that laid back three. So Towns he plays with Rudy Gobert.
No, you're right.
So,
you're right. Towns can hit that three, but you got to take Rudy out because now you got a big man who he coming up the court at the same pace Cat coming up the court.
Okay,
they play together.
Remember we've been talking about the Bows, and we've been talking about how what's his name, Nurkic, how he got Nurkic.
No, Vucevic.
Yeah, remember how he was saying like,
hey, say his name right, Dick.
Vooch.
He good for the offense that he was running because he was trailing three.
Okay,
yeah, slump,
all right, so no
Vooch.
panic. All right, no panic. Now I'm gonna tell you why I think, and I'm pretty sure this is the blueprint to beat Dallas. Now I don't know how many teams left in the tournament to actually do it, but I think up pace would beat them. The reason I say that is this: if you look at Dallas's roster, and you look at who scores, and you look at the team in these playoffs, there's only 4 starters averaging double figures. Lucas 27.7, Kyrie 21.8, PJ at 14.2, and Derrick Jones Jr. at 10.6. Nobody else is averaging double figures. That's why I say up pace would be detrimental to Dallas. Meaning this: if you can keep those 4 players right there, and then Gafford is coming in at 8.7, he's the other starter.
But Marvin, you asking the Leopard to change its spots in the middle of the race.
I mean, how many points did Minnesota average per game in the regular season, Dex?
That I don't know, and
I
would say like 113.
They were in the top 10, just to let you know. They can
run. Yeah, I would say
run.
like 113.
They can run. And if you can listen, it's about.
But you don't have to run to score 113. You can score 130 just damn playing real good efficient basketball.
Yeah, but you want to run on Dallas. It's a must to run on.
And they're not built to run. They're not constructed to run. They're constructed to go off the half court set and let Ant-Man penetrate and try to demolish the defense. Big Cat stretch the floor and give Rudy Gobert a little bit time to hang around the restricted area just to get it how he lives. That's how basically they are constructed. Big Cat ain't trying to go down there and just bang all day in the restricted area. That's not his providence. You know what I'm saying? Big Cat want to just roam. You know, if he want to feel, he want to go down there, cool. But if he want to play around the elbow, if he want to play around the attack position, if he want to play around at the distance, then cool. That's what Big Cat is. He's a roamer because he can score basically on anywhere on the court if he, put his mind to it. So they try to create space for Ant-Man to demolish the defense, to collapse it and things of that nature. You follow what I'm saying? So they're not built to run up and down the court. Conley probably got a wheelchair that he rolls after every game to get into the ice tub. So I don't believe that Coach Finch is going to dismantle the team structure in this series just to hopefully it works out. I don't think he's gonna put his team out there on a wish and a prayer that it works out. He already knows the formula, the chemistry is there. All they have to do is execute.
Okay. All right. Now you saying that they're not built to run. I'll give you some numbers.
Not intentionally. Now, if it's there, every team run a fast break if it's there. But that's not their intention to get the ball out the hoop like Shea and them and just push it up the court. And whatever they get, they get. And you see what they got.
All right.
Let me ask you the question.
Go ahead.
All right. So how much of the bench you think teams actually using at this point in the playoffs?
Well, they're not going very deep. You use normally it's about 7 to 8, but you got a rare team like Indiana that's going 8, 9. Boston is playing about 7.5. So, when I say half, I mean 3 minutes, 4 minutes here. Dallas is one of the deeper teams. They're going maybe 7 to 8. So maybe 3 guys off the bench.
So you want those players to run all game.
Only listen.
And
Listen.
and that go to my second question. After you answer that,
Uh, I wouldn't say all game. You run when you can. You push the ball on misses. You don't walk up if you rebound the ball. You push it. I'm not talking about pushing it off if it come out of the net. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about on misses, meaning you have to play defense. Because usually if a team miss, the players are out of position. You have a chance to run. Every team in the NBA does. Fast-paced teams, they predicate their fast pace on missed shots. Getting the ball.
Fast-paced team right now is down 0-2. The fastest-paced team in the NBA is down 0-2.
I know it. I know that.
Juggernaut.
I was gonna get to it, but they the deepest too. So, and that's got something to do with the fast pace because they can do that because they play so many players. But back to Panic. What I'm saying when I say this, Panic, is in my eyes, the only way Minnesota wins this series is by upping the pace. And I'm gonna say this, and then you can ask anybody else or me another question. I'm guaranteeing all 3 of you guys on this panel right now that Minnesota scores well more than 105 points in game 2.
Yeah, they may well score 115, but Dallas probably going to score 130.
But it's still going to mean the pace is up.
But you got to understand, like Dex trying to tell you, if you trying to run, meaning every time the must come off, you pushing the pace, you do realize you ain't going to be able to get back to set up your actual defense that got you here, right? So now you're a weaker defensive team.
All right, now wait.
And now
all right,
you're trying to go bucket for bucket all game with 2 of the greatest scores in today's basketball right now. That's what.
All right, so I ask you in rebuttal, what is your plan for Minnesota to win game 2?
They got to play their game, and hopefully the ball bounce their way. It's a game of runs. It's a game of hitting shots and not hitting shots. You don't think
it's a game? You don't think it's a game of adjustments?
No, it is a game of adjustments. But what I'm saying is, no matter how much you adjust, if you ain't hitting shots, you ain't hitting shots.
Well, that's true. Now, we all know that. But I just say, in my eyes, and I guess I can ask all 3 of you guys. I ain't even got to ask Vern because he already say Minnesota going to win. But Dex, you'll be next. In my eyes, the way I see Minnesota getting back in this series is up pace. What you say, Dex?
You say Minnesota have to increase their pace?
Yes.
But see, I disagree because if I coach basketball, but I coach at a very small level, right? But the principles remain the same. If you is teaching your players a certain kind of stratagem and you want them to execute that stratagem, then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you say, okay, abandon ship. We're going to try to swim to the shores instead of using the ship that we use to get to this part of the landmass. That's where players start to feel, I don't know, they start to have doubt. Now, then you're going to try to bring them back to that same system again? I don't know. I just think that, like I said, you hammer down on defense. That's what got you there. Stick with it. Stay focused. I just believe Dallas came in and sucker punched the Minnesota Timberwolves based on the fact that coming off of a 7-game series with the current champs.
Okay. And that's understandable.
They defeated them, right? And so when they came home, and when they came home to indulge in their celebration, I just think they went a little bit too far with their indulging. Okay. And that's what eventually became their undoing, while Dallas came in and they was very strict and refined, and they still barely won that game. But Minnesota allowed them to stay close, from the beginning to the end, and Kyrie and company saw an opening and they took it.
Okay. All right. And now my rebuttal to that. The first part of your rebuttal to me was them changing their colors or doing something they ain't used to. I want to give you some numbers. First series of the playoffs. Game 1 against Phoenix, they scored 120 points. They win 120-95. Game 2, they scored 105. They win 105-93. Game 3, they scored 126 points. They win 126-109. The sweep game, they scored 122 and they won. They swept. Now, I'm not through. The next series, which was Denver, more of a defensive-minded team, and here comes Minnesota playing a low scoring games. They went 7 and barely, and they could have lost that series, but they won it. But they went 7 against a team that slowed the ball down. First round, they ran, they swept. Second round, they slowed it down. They went 7. They just had game 1 against Dallas, which was a slow down game. They lost. They have to change their way of playing right now.
Marvin, I think you're jumping out the window. That was the first game. Yes, I think it was some immaturity on their Minnesota part, and Coach Finch has to take some accountability for allowing his players to lose a little focus and to overindulge in their celebration against the Denver Nuggets, knocking the champs out of the playoffs and not getting them back together and augment them into a solidified form and say, listen, guys, it ain't over. Like Kobe said, job ain't done. Job ain't done. And so they went home to their wives, kids, children, concubines, or Jezebels, or whatever you want to call them. And they just, I'm telling you what happened. And so these youngsters, they just did a little more than what they supposed to. Too many strokes.
Hey, Dex, can I say this?
Yeah, go ahead.
They just came out with game 7, a 7-game series. You understand me? And how many days after the series was over, they was playing again against Dallas?
They finished that series last Sunday, then they played this past Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I can say I understand, why he was a little tired, you know what I'm saying? Why the individual,
Man, the schedule been like this
the
since the
individual
NBA
that made
started
that
doing
statement why he
playoffs.
would be a little tired. But
He had 3 days. Vern, he had 3 days rest.
All right, okay, well,
But see,
maybe Dexter's right. He partied for one day and tried.
Oh yeah, he did that. That's for sure. He did that for sure.
And then not only that though, touching Denver is different than touching OKC. Okay, so let's get that straight there. OKC came out of nowhere. There was a bottom tier team, a perennial play-in squad, right? And then all of a sudden they got some prixie dust sprinkled on them, and they end up as a number 1 seed. Now, when you played Oklahoma City Thunder, you didn't get bumped and bruised like Minnesota probably did playing Denver. You follow what I'm saying? Because Oklahoma City Thunder, they ain't touching you like that.
Yeah, it's more of a finesse team. Yeah, go ahead. Understood. Definitely. All right. So
I don't get it. First, I thought Shea Gilchrist was almost the best, one of the top, at least the top 10 NBA players of the nation as far as who was that? Marvin just said about Marvin, as far as Marvin is concerned, now all of a sudden he's just a part to a puzzle, along with the rest of them young guys out there.
I don't believe that's what he's referring to, Vern. What he's referring to is a team game in the playoffs, and it is in every game, but it's more or less in the playoffs. It's a team game.
When the last time Oklahoma City played a playoff game? I'll wait.
Well, come on, man. I mean, yeah. As a matter of fact, it was 2 days ago, bro.
No, I'm talking about this year. Whoa. I mean, last year. When was the last time they got close to being in the playoffs besides this year, Marvin?
Well, they've been in rebuild.
Last year.
They've been in rebuild for the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, last time they've been when Chris Paul been here.
Yeah, they've been in rebuild now. Come on now, Vern. We all know that.
All right, well, that's okay. I got you. That's rebuild. That ain't the bill. Like I said, I'm surprised. If anything, I'm surprised about Indiana.
Yeah, the same thing for Minnesota too.
Yeah,
Minnesota did that. Yeah, but they did no, because OKC did theirs in the draft. Oh, and Minnesota did theirs in free agency.
No, but what I mean is, Vern's trying to say when the last time they've been in the playoffs.
Marvin, not cutting you off, though, Marvin, to go along with what you said. Minnesota did it. They got it out the mud because they stopped being that top number one defense in the country like that. In the NBA like that. They was always up there and on top with that defense.
They ain't been making the playoffs a couple of years. What you talking about? When Ant first did they make playoffs Ant rookie year?
Yeah, well, they made that move
that year when they first get Rudy.
All right, well, that's the case. Then you agree that Rudy Gobert is the best. It's a big difference. There's a reason why they there, right?
He's a help. He's
a piece of it. That's the only significant move they made in the last 2 years.
But see, when you saying that, for everything you saying, you right about Rudy being a good piece that helped the defense and all that. But look what he got to play. Like they got to play drop coverage.
Guys, I'm gonna go on mute for a minute. Go ahead and speak. I'm gonna be on mute.
Yeah, like if you got to play drop coverage every way down, and like you playing against Luke and Kyrie, like you gonna get eat up all game. Like you giving Kyrie every mid range or every drive to the basket he asking for, because he can't move as quick as Kyrie can get to the bucket. So it's like, yeah, he been playing good. Yeah, he a piece to the puzzle to make y'all defense that good, but he do got deficiencies on defense that kind of hold y'all back. Y'all can't run. Like even if you want to pick up the pace, like Marvin said, like. He gotta want to run too, all game.
But even with that fact, all they doing with Minnesota is they playing in that game. That's how they get control. They making a half court game. That's how they can beat. That's how they can beat Dallas. That's why it's going to be easy to stay close with them. They won't have to try. With Dallas, they won't have to try to make a 20-point comeback and nothing like that, because Dallas ain't good on their defensive end anyway. So really, they gonna be going back head to head. I hit, you hit. I hit, you hit. I hit, you hit.
You ain't thinking about the other factors in it. Like, think about it. If Anthony Edwards been that tired that he couldn't put up more than 4 shots, he couldn't really do too much in the fourth quarter because he been too tired to do anything or whatever like that. Imagine him running the entire game, and now towards the end of the game, you got to go bucket for bucket with professional scores while you tired. That ain't gonna work.
Panic. You think they're gonna be his condition is gonna be a problem with him this next game?
I don't think Ant ever played this long.
Man, he just
think about it. A lot of these young players ain't never played this long.
No panic. Where was you at when they just played Denver? The world champions, ex-world champions.
Listen to what he's saying.
In the 7-game series. Where was
listen
you
to
at?
What he's saying. We at the end of May. Yeah. Usually his season ends at the end of April. April's the end of the NBA season. He used to going home in April. He used to be at April relaxing for a couple of months and then getting ready. This usually when he's starting his training and ramping it up. And now he's playing the NBA games. I think you do. I ain't saying
no panic. Anthony been in the playoffs for the last 2 seasons.
In the playoff, but how deep has he gotten in playoffs?
So
first round elimination.
Yeah, first round last year.
So if you've never been to the third round now, he's in the third round right now. That's the longest he played in the playoffs.
But what I'm saying is that he should already be calibrated to play, at full strength in the extended season, because he already have a taste of it. This is not his first time. Like how
long go the first
round? Tyrese Halliburton. You know what I'm saying?
How long go the first round, button?
Say that again. Time? How long the first round? What?
How long was the first round? When was the last first round game in real time?
He played the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets knocked him out.
No, I say when was the first round for everybody? Like, was that a week ago, 2 weeks ago? Like, when was? I can't remember how long ago, but in the first round.
Oh, I mean, yeah, probably about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago.
So about almost a month ago is when he usually start. His body ain't. I ain't saying this to try to make excuse for him. I just saying like he been going hard since the first round. Pause. He don't know how to temper. So when you look at Kyrie Irving, he been pacing himself for this moment right here when I need to turn it on. Now he.
But Kyrie was out. He was out last season. So he didn't play the extended season. So he
No,
had
but what
plenty
I'm
of time
saying
of
is,
rest.
but what I'm saying is, all in runs in Cleveland, he's played enough. He understand what it takes to for where your body got to be at a certain point in the season. We get into June. A lot of players' season end in April. Mine ending in June every year, like LeBron. So all I'm saying is, when you look at Ant Davis, not saying he ain't in good shape, but he don't know how to temper his play throughout the rounds. Like he don't understand. Like he playing his hardest every single game, every single
You mean
minute.
Anthony Edwards, not Anthony
Anthony
Davis?
Edwards, yeah. He playing his ass off every single second. That's cool. Both sides of the ball. That's cool. But he don't know he don't know that he burning himself out. So he could very well be burnt out. Because I see Loud in game 7, he only had
But it's
16
hard.
points.
It's hard to accept that as what is he, like 23? It's hard to
22.
accept
I
22,
agree.
23. Yeah, it's hard to
Yeah,
accept that young of age to be burnt out. The only
yeah.
thing that we can surmise is that he partied maybe a little too much. I mean, when I say party, not in a bad way, but celebrated. Maybe I should say celebrated. Let me replace party and celebrate, because party has a negative connotation to it when it comes to basketball. Um, yeah, he celebrated maybe a little too deep in his indulgence. Was probably a little overkill because coming off of that hard grinding 7-game series on the road, had to travel back, get with his people, his family, and his loved ones, and get a little some huggers and kisses.
You
And
know how
so
that
he
you
found out. And when he found out, them huggers and kisses, you know, didn't go his way when it came to his stamina. That little extra hug and kiss that he didn't break away from, he could have used that extra stamina to fight against Kyrie.
why I don't accept that as an answer? Because he did the exact same thing in game 7 against Denver. Remember now, they've been down by 20 at some point. So they had to play their ass off to come back just to even be in the game, let alone win the game, right? So he been doing the same thing. He had 16 points inside that game 7. He been taking a lot of jumpers in game 7. He knocked a couple of them down now, so like, but he still been missing a lot of shots down that stretch. He been like a 5 game
Thunder, I
stretch
got a
where he hasn't
question
been
for
scoring.
you. What is your blueprint to getting back in this series?
For who, Minnesota?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was on the show yet, guys. Damn, I was in the chat. No, I'm back. I'm just listening to you guys right now. Go ahead. I'm going to mute up and I'm going to type in and holler at Thunder. Y'all just let me know when y'all want me to.
So what I'm saying is he don't know how to temper the energy output he putting out throughout the game to where he can kind of get into that fourth quarter where he still got energy. What he doing is he getting tired. He had a scramble in game 7 and tired and only had he had a lot of missed shots. So in his mind, it's like, oh, when I tired, I ain't doing the game team no justice by missing these shots. So I'ma just not shoot. That was his mindset at the end in the fourth quarter against Dallas. That's why I can say that's why they lose, but I mean that's why he ain't been active inside the fourth. So when you saying, oh, he been up the night before, it's like, yeah, that could play a role into it, but I've seen this before just a game ago. When you tired, like think about it, when you play any sport, isn't it harder to focus when you tired? Like when
Yeah, when
you
you're
actually
tired, you make a
exhausted?
lot of bad decisions, no doubt.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is the in game 7 against Denver when he been tired, he been like, okay, cool. In his mind, I'ma just shoot jump shots. But he been missing the shots. That's why he been going 6 for 24. Only had 16 points. Then he come back to the Mavericks game and his mindset learned from that. Oh, I shouldn't say learn, but his mindset going on that and say, you know what? Let me just not shoot and just give up the ball. Or let me just play decoy. That's and I keep saying that's why they lose, but I mean you can say that's why they lose, but that's the problem
Yeah,
with them.
I'm
They go
quite
these
sure those
stretches without
factors
scoring.
played a heavy role that you just spoke about, and probably the same goes for myself of what I spoke about, and it could just be a combination that's meshed up together that ultimately caused him to lose his stamina and not be effective as he thought he would be. Because sometimes we do allow our hubris to get to the best of us, thinking that we're the bionic man and we're doing things that we ain't supposed to do and not getting the rest we're supposed to get, and then feel that we still are capable of handling the task in front of us. And sometimes we get that reality check, and boom, man, I shouldn't have did this. I shouldn't have did this. I should have took a nap, or I should have drunk a V8 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And now I was out here on ice skates, and this older gentleman, Kyrie, older statesman for the NBA, made me look pretty bad after I had accepted the challenge on national TV to try to take down Kyrie. And he made me look like a fool, like Bobo the fool.
All right, guys. I got a question for you guys. We collectively probably came to a consensus that Tom Thibodeau was part of the reason what happened to the Knicks, playing them too much in the regular season and then giving them too many minutes in the playoffs. Anthony Edwards just came out himself and said that he was tired. Now, Dex, I know what your thought is. He was out with 15 women and all of that. And that very well could be true. Why isn't anybody else, had we noticed so far, on any team, kind of suffering through fatigue, but Edwards? Because I haven't seen it on Indiana, I ain't seen it on Boston, and I haven't seen it yet on Dallas. Why is that? You think that Denver series took that much out of this young kid?
I think that Denver series took a whole lot out of him and the rest of the squad. But at the same time, at 22, 23 years old, you feel invincible and you still carry on and doing things that you probably did in the regular season. And now it came upon you and hit you smack dead in the face like somebody throwing a brick at you at a construction site. So he learned his lesson, and game two, I think that they would take command of game two and tie the series up, but it's still not enough because they already surrendered their home court, and so therefore they have no advantage until they win one game in D-Town.
Wow. So no panic.
Yeah.
You there? All right.
Yeah.
I'm sure happy you on here because you're a true Dallas fan. Now listen, I'm in Dallas, but I'm not a Dallas fan.
Hey, hold on. Let me correct you real quick. I'm a true Dallas fan. I a Kyrie fan. So I mean,
oh God. So wherever he goes,
I do follow the team like it's my team and all that. And I just.
So what do you tell me? Wherever
no true Dallas fan to say I'm a true Dallas fan.
All right. So you were once a Brooklyn fan, then obviously, then right?
Yeah, more or less.
All right. So wherever Kyrie go, you go. That's what you're saying?
Well, when you make it sound like that, sound crazy. Shit.
I mean Brooklyn, Dex, did you get that?
Brooklyn, like they were my team and not like that. But
I'm sorry, Dex.
I kind of do feel like I feel like that's my team. You feel me?
Yeah, okay. But Dex, now I don't want to be, I don't want him to think that I'm picking on him. But did you get that feeling out of him when he said he's a Kyrie fan, so wherever he goes, he goes?
I mean, that sound cool now, but I just ain't never been like that with Brooklyn.
Well, I know that. I'm just joking with you.
Whenever team you don't got a good chance of winning the championship as long as you got the right things built around him.
Yeah, I think he's a perfect fit in Dallas. I think he is. I really do. But the question that I just asked, though, seriously, and I wanted to answer from you on this one. Have you noticed any of the other three teams being fatigued at all in these playoffs so far?
Not really.
No, I hadn't either.
But all they men going through Denver.
I think that was more or less of a party thing, man. I think they were just so crunk that they won that series that they, kind of.
I mean, but the altitude out there, like not being like, think about it. When they played Denver in the season, they played them twice, right? The Western Conference played the Western Conference team twice, home and away or whatnot. Now you had to go through 4 games. A couple of them you had to play catch up. 7 of them in full, flying back and forth. Him being tired ain't something that I mean, I know what you're saying. Like, okay, well, ain't nobody else feeling that, so why him? But you gotta understand, like, how much players in the playoffs right now playing as hard offensively and defensively as him.
Yeah, you're right. All right, so who favors a 7-game series in this Dallas Minnesota series?
You say what? I don't
Who
think he can win
favors?
7.
All right, if it went 7, who you think would be in the favorite?
Dallas.
You still think Dallas would be favored, even though they are older team than Minnesota? Well,
What do you
are
mean
they?
by older team? How's they
Yeah,
older?
you're right. I don't even know if I mean you more veteran team. I don't even think that's true though.
Yeah, because Kyrie 32, Luka 25, Gafford 26, 27, Lively
Luca
22,
25.
Gary.
Luca seemed like he's 36 years old. Seemed like he's been in the
Exactly.
league. He seemed like he's been in the league 50 years. Hell.
Exactly. He only in his fifth season, fifth or sixth season.
Can he get better? Can he get better?
He can get healthy.
Yeah, he's never in shape, is he?
Well, I mean, I don't say he never in shape, but it's like he's always bang. Like right now, this entire playoffs, he been messed up. Knee issues, Achilles issues. Like
Yeah.
he playing like 80% right now.
So you tell me Luca ain't even 100%. He had 33 in game 1.
He beat up. Like think about it. Watch every single game. Every game, his knee will stop bleeding. Every game.
Wow.
I don't know what type of injury he got that caused that, but his man be bleeding from the knees.
All right. So tomorrow is you and Uncle Vern's day. I'm pretty sure Flight's gonna have this stream up tomorrow. I'm gonna be back with you guys because I gotta go now. I got somebody calling me like freaking crazy here. But I want to come on here when you and Uncle Vern is on here tomorrow when that game is on. Because I'm just letting you know this now. No panic. I think Minnesota's gonna win tomorrow. And I think it's more or less of the fact that Dallas feels that they didn't accomplish what they really wanted to. Now, they want to win both games. But if push come to shove and they're down a little bit too much, I think I figure they'll get off the gas and say, okay, we lost this one.
But see that the way I'm looking at it is game 1 for Dallas always the measuring stick game. Let me see what we can throw at you. We're gonna stick. We ain't gonna stick what y'all been expecting. What y'all is gonna expect. Like they just trying to test you out. And if we win it, cool. But if not, we got y'all game 2. I feel like game 2 gonna be more so Dallas feel like okay, we get what we coming for. We get our 1 win or whatever. And it's like now we gonna play. Okay, now y'all come at us. Like show us what y'all gonna do about y'all just getting punched them out. And that's what gonna cause us to either get blowout or we still squeaking out another win because we was playing a little more cautious. That's why I said like I expecting us to win, but at the same time, like I can very well see us get blow out because these one of them games that we come here already. Let's just rest up, let this game get away from us. Like we gonna play like we trying to win, but if we get to like the middle of the third quarter, we down 22-24, it's like, yeah, let's just throw that inside. Let's sit the starters at the beginning of the fourth and just let that ride out. So I say like. This ain't a game that they gonna say, "Oh, I told y'all," or whatever like that. But I just don't see it as a game that we just ain't about to lose. Like we can very well lose this game. I can very well clearly see us lose. I just ain't going against myself.
Yeah, but and I can tell in your tone that even a loss tomorrow wouldn't give you doubt of Dallas winning this series. Am I correct with that?
100% correct. I got them in 6. Just be nice.
Okay, question to you. Only hypothetical. If Dallas lose tomorrow and the first game in Dallas, do you still feel the same?
I still feel like Dallas can pull us out
because you feel that Dallas can win again on the road.
Exactly. I feel like we don't care about having home court or not having home court. We just want you to know you ain't got them no more. So now you're going to be stressed out to try to win this game too because y'all don't want to go back to Dallas down 0-2. So y'all going to be pressing. And if you're a young team and you're pressing, that can be a very bad thing. And if you're a veteran team when you're pressing, that could be a very good thing. But at the end of the day, it's like, who's the veterans can carry that team? Like,
all right.
Conley.
All right, question
Conley
you.
Scoring 5 points. 10 points ain't going to matter. He need to drop 15 to 20.
jumping the gun a little bit, you think you would feel the same way if you were playing Boston in the finals? That you're not worried about a road game?
Well, Boston seem to let home be a factor to them. Like they can't win at home. So I can very well see us still in a couple of games in Boston.
Do you see Boston winning a couple of games in Dallas?
Yeah, I can see that. I don't feel like we just this dominant team at home. We don't get blown at home like 2 or 3 times in playoffs. Like home
So, in
don't.
other words, you say if they met Dallas,
What I'm
it's a
saying is
toss up. It's
our
more of a
defense
toss up
travels.
series. You think it's a toss up series then, huh?
I think whoever we play at very worst is a toss up. I don't. It ain't go like at the. I just don't see us getting in a situation where the game close and we still lose. Like that, I just don't see that, and I don't see us getting blown out 4 games in the series.
So wait a minute. You actually feel that Indiana would give you as much problem as Boston would?
Now, like after watching Indiana tonight, it's like I can clearly see that they overachieved. They ain't even supposed to be where they at now. Like the Knicks supposed to be here, even though I feel like if the Knicks get to the finals, they overachieve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Knicks. I mean, oh man. I mean, I feel bad for those guys. You wait all this time to try to do what you need to get done, and then you start just crumbling when you're going down the stretch. And then they start pointing fingers at the coach.
Yeah.
I posed a question to Flight last night, and he brushed me off real fast. But I'll be on those podcasts, and I do a lot of shows in New York, and I asked them the same question I'm gonna ask you. New York fans tend to call a lot of other teams soft. Is it the case, and how can it be the case if New York's whole team was hurt down the stretch?
Yeah, I don't think they solved. I think they just got bad time with the injuries and Thibodeau himself. Like, I mean, you know how he go in the regular season, you getting ran into the ground. Like he played a regular season like it's the playoffs every single game. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
unless
what
he
I
wants
was
to play
trying,
defense.
and that's what I was trying to explain to a guy on another show a couple of days ago. The the injuries that New York ended up with was due to the regular season minutes that they were playing coming to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
See, Ananobi had never ever played the minutes that he played when he got to New York in consecutive game after game after game. Never. And even though it was just a partial, half a season, less than half a season, it still took a toll.
Yeah.
It still took a toll. Now, Brunson's injury was fluke. I mean, they swipe down at players all the time when they try and do a layup. He just happened to hit his knee and broke his hand. Mitchell Robinson's injury was not fatigue, guys. That was Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid hurt the dude. He didn't intentionally try to do it, but that's what happened.
I'd have still given a damn take.
Hart's injury was Pascal Siakam's blades on his elbows because he's deadly with them damn things. And he got that injury because he actually like elbowed him in his midsection. And Pascal he didn't mess some people up with them elbows. I don't know if you guys ever knew it, but they used to complain about Pascal, man, when he was with Toronto. He hurt a lot of people with them elbows. If you look at him, he comes high with his elbow. He usually does it in the face area. He gets people around the eyes and then stuff like that. He comes high with his elbows when he's when he's facing you with the ball to turn to put his back to you. He swings his elbows and they are sharp, and he can really hurt somebody with it. In the case with like I say with Hart, they were battling on the ground and he kind of swung his elbow out and you could see it. It hit him in his solar plexus, and he went down. I mean, and he wasn't right ever since then. So It's well, it's a little bit after 12, so I'm gonna give one more question to you, man, because tomorrow is gonna be the one that I'm gonna really want to get on with you guys. Because I'm happy, I'm not happy my team not there, but I don't have to go through the stress of if we're gonna win or lose. I think that's pretty damn cool to me. You know, like the Knicks fans felt. Some of the guys who run their podcast, they didn't do anything the day after the loss because I know it hurts, especially when you. I mean, it hurts, man. It does, dog. It hurts.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a true fan. You know, if you're a true fan of their team. You know, wishy-washy people, they go on, there ain't nothing to it. You know, I mean, hey, they lost. And then other people, man, it's just a game, you know. But people who true to the game and true to their team, man, they take this shit to heart. I mean, it's like an NFL team. Who's your NFL team? Come and think of it.
Commanders.
Oh, my God. Jesus. I mean, you're a diehard too, right?
Yeah.
So you hurt
my heart so much.
That's what I'm saying. So you hurt when they lose, right?
Yeah.
But damn, I mean, hell, that's a topic to another day and another subject. But I'd love to get into that because are you from DC?
No, my old man that like them boys. So
okay, that's where you got it from. Your father. Yeah. So I was wondering how you got that infatuation with them.
Yeah, I want them boys so long, watched them boys going through so much shit. Like,
all right, so obviously you hate the Cowboys, right?
Oh yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah, I can't stand them. I can't stand like if we only win 2 games a year and that's against the Cowboys, I all right.
And that happened one year, didn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, we about to get up out of here. You ain't gotta leave, but we're about to get up out of here. It's Flight Sports TV.
All right.